You are watching our favorite podcast. It's Pantheon. It's Chillmonger. It's Marcus from Back of the Bus. Darius, where you at? Darius? Darius?
Darius.
There you go, Darius. He's not coming. But we're going to begin the show as if he's here. What's up, y'all? Hello, Zengbeto. And Brother Stark says, hey.
Okay, that.
Let me recast you with Andre Ware, who says, what's up? See? He begs to be recasted. Brother Stark wrote the same words twice. There it is right there. Where is he? I don't know where he is. He's not here, but we're going to just start out without him. We're going to begin the Steve Harvey topic because this came up last week, and it has to do with the Katt Williams interview from January. And
man, he's shooting shots from a long time ago.
I'm happy to hear it, though.
Yeah.
Let's see what he had to say.
Steve, why don't you respond? I said, because lions don't turn around when small dogs bark. And I don't.
Emphasis on the
because
small.
I don't even have time on my journey. See, y'all, listen to me. When God has you on a path, and you are clear that you are on a path, there's a Bible verse that says, stay on the wall. When they throw rocks at you, stay on the wall. When they coming for you, stay on the wall. Don't come down off the wall to address some little small-minded, pity-andy hater who is, and you'll never have a hater that's doing better than you. Always know that. Don't get off the wall to address some pity-andy boy who ain't got shit going for himself. Now you done stopped your climb up on the wall so you can come down here and talk to his little punk. Don't do that, man. I stay away from it. Now, do I want to? Yes. Because I'm a human being.
You don't get to. I stay away from it.
Yeah.
All of
don't
that.
Be the big guy. Yeah, don't be the big guy and then try to. That's very Drake of him. It's very Drake of him.
It's too many of us do that though, and I've seen it so many times. You're either gonna, he didn't even bring it up. Stephen A. Smith didn't even bring it up. He was being interviewed and he chose to do that. He chose to bring up, I was asked this by somebody. Why didn't I respond? Oh, there's an audience here. There's a camera.
Right. This was his opportunity. Like, bro, that shit happened so long ago. First of all, the invoking of God to try to get everybody to go along with him as if we all on the same page here.
What is very Ohio of him?
It's that Cleveland in him, but I just don't even know what was the beef. I don't remember what was the jab specifically with Steve Harvey and Katt Williams. Like, what did he say in the interview specifically about him? I know that he probably mentioned the beef with Bernie Mac, the Ocean's 11 thing.
Was it joke stealing?
Yeah, I think there was a joke stealing accusation in there too, but that was at a time where basically everybody was accusing people. No. I think he was talking about Sid. He said Sid stole his joke, the lowrider joke. But he accused him of stealing the lowrider joke. Everybody was accusing everybody of stealing jokes at that moment for some reason. They all chose that time to speak out and be like, "Hey, no, but he stole my joke." I just don't even know what this is about, man. It feels like much to do about nothing. It's a little late as well to be addressing. I feel like he just got called out for, accepting whatever the Democratic Party had for him at the DNC or when he was interviewing or up to interview Kamala Harris. Why don't we talk about that? Katt Williams is way back in the first quarter. That's first quarter stuff. Okay, it's September, baby. Get on this election stuff. What about that? What about this? Oh, I'm not going to ask anything of her because I just don't want Trump. Oh, but do you remember who was at the top of the escalator at Trump Hotel when he got elected? You remember who was flanking him right to his right? Bald head and all. You remember?
Stephen Harvey.
Let's talk about that. Talking about this Katt Williams stuff. Now I see the play. That's a smoke screen. Come on, y'all. Let's talk about me and Katt Williams, this old silly nene hater. And so I don't have to explain myself about why I'm bending over and taking a vote. Because Stephen A. Smith don't like Kamala Harris all like that. He's not a fan. In fact, he started a whole villain arc over her on his podcast. Now he talks about her every week. So we could have got into that. That would have been much more interesting to me.
What did Stephen A reply with?
And I'm hood. I used to be a fighter, and I still got hands. They slow, but if you get up on me real close, I can still knock your monkey out. I just don't have the quickness I have, but I still know how to turn my hip and shift that weight, and I knock your short ass out. I shoot your perv straight out your head.
20.
You can tell he's bothered.
I was about to say, does that sound like somebody who's unbothered? Does it sound like somebody who, oh, I'm too big to even address this? Like, how do you say out of one side of your mouth, oh, you ain't never gonna have a hater that's bigger than you. So don't come down off that wall. Don't come. God said, the Lord says, aha, aha. Don't come down now. Don't come down off that wall now. And then on the other side, here we go. Yeah, I knock his silly perm out the side of his head. I can still twist my hips and hit a midget and knock him 5 feet off across the floor. I beat Money Mike into the ground. All of that.
Yeah.
Come on now. Pick a lane. Are you the bully or the pacifist? You can't be both.
The art of no comment is not a studied art. Let's finish up. Oops, sorry.
I knock your short ass out. I shoot your perv straight out your head. I don't even know why I said that.
Bro, no, don't do that one. I'm just sipping on some tea. Don't do that. You can't do that.
I'm so sorry.
He's a good show, man. You got to give him that.
Keep me near the cross.
That's Steve Harvey on stage with Stephen A. Smith.
And it was entertaining, yeah. And sometimes we got to give these entertainers some grace because they're in the middle of a show. You want to keep the people happy. I don't know how the last 10 minutes went. Maybe it was really boring, and he had to
Liven the
still
crowd
not an
back up.
excuse, but I get it a little bit. Katt Williams, he replied like as early as yesterday.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. How you think he took it?
Oh, not very well.
The same Steve that went to go watch Mark Curry do his whole sitcom and then stole everything Mark Curry had.
So it looks like this feud between Katt Williams and Steve Harvey might turn into a...
Hold on a minute. I don't see it.
Yep,
the thumbnail was lying to me. The thumbnail made it seem like Katt Williams was
liars. Oh, there it's a tweet,
but it's not even from him.
It's not. Who is that?
It's from Nicest One. It's an Instagram comment.
5,690 hours ago.
Look at this thumbnail that I clicked on. Katt Williams responds to Steve Harvey after he dares for a fight, and it says, "I dare you, Stash," but it doesn't have the video of him doing that. It was just someone talking.
Man, I should just dive completely in and just super clickbait. Just jump into super clickbait. How many views did that video have?
That one?
Yeah.
It's got 2 days ago, 69,000. Nice.
69,000. Hey, the next post on Back of the Bus is going to have some revelation of celebrity news right there on the front cover. You watch.
Oh, we don't need cover clickbait. Did you read X-Force? Did you read that one?
I did not.
Okay, it says Black Panther. What's got the question mark? Black Panther.
Oh, versus Black Panther. Oh, good night.
No.
Good night, Betsy.
Anytime you see a question mark, it's not happening. It's just a question. There was no X-Force versus Black Panther in this.
No, at all? Like, did he even appear?
No.
Oh, my goodness.
Somebody with the name Black Panther appeared, but it wasn't him.
Oh. No.
Clickbait.
What? Ew. Why are we doing that?
I don't like comic books anymore. I hate these things.
I hate the X Office for sure. They're not my friends. They're not our friends. Who ruins their own office for ego? That was just Was it Tucson? No, what was it? For
No,
real?
it was
Oh
some
my God.
ancient Wakandan guy who says, "I'm the real Black Panther."
Holy fuck. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Good evening, Planet Fanatics fam. Hello. Or I guess we're Planet Fanatics right
Yeah,
now.
just
We're
rocking out
claiming
on
that
this channel. You know what I mean?
it's a planet, bro. We're different continents, but same planet.
Every Thursday we come in, kick in the door, and kick back, just chill in his crib.
And if we need to end the stream, we'll end the stream on our terms. Yeah, it's not the same without Darius, though. Live chat, spice things up. Say something. Say something Darius would say. I need to know what Darius would say about Katt Williams and Steve Harvey. X-Force versus Toussaint. No. What's up,
no.
Groovy Fee? He'll have a pimp in distress. Steve Harvey know how to play the game in Hollywood. Katt Williams messed up his own career. Kevin, if I couple that with your last few comments, I don't know what you came in on today, but I don't agree with you. I think after that interview and the truth that was exposed through Katt Williams, it's very obvious if you're not with him, you're probably on the wrong side of things. And Monique's interview also.
Well, no. Listen now. As much as we've loved all of the Club Shay Shay interviews, notwithstanding the most recent one with Marlon Wayans, that one is pretty good. I'm actually going to watch that one because the clips that I'm getting of it are really good. So that one seems to be a good watch. But we can't allow them to rewrite history totally. Not for anyone, right? Just because truths were uncovered in a lot of these interviews doesn't mean along the way that there weren't still things that were ugly times, ugly moments for these individuals, right? As much as Katt Williams probably had doors shut on him because he wouldn't take certain alleys, right? He wouldn't do certain things and accept certain things.
His virgin booty hole.
Pause. I watched the man fight a 13-year-old in a soccer game in the projects. Like not even 10 years after he did Friday. How did we get there? How did we get there? You telling me you've never done drugs in your life? You've never it's never been. How did we get there?
Something happened.
So yeah, I mean, did they get you for a minute? Tell us if they got you for a minute, but you told us you never got. So tell the truth. Tell the truth, man. He told that story and there was nothing negative. He never did anything wrong. He was a golden child from the minute he was born. He was gifted as a child. He got into college at like 9 or some shit. And the only evidence that we can find on that is his blog post he wrote. Like it was just, I don't want to say it was too good to be true because a lot of it I do believe. He painted a very rosy picture. So did Monique. Monique is another one who has, I think she got blackballed by Lee Daniels and Tyler Perry.
Yeah.
Also think she abandoned her son,
Brian McKnight.
and I don't think it's really debatable. And when you kind of get into that, you kind of lose the moral high ground on a lot of things. Not on working in Hollywood, obviously. Again, I think she got blackballed for not fucking with some of the elites in Hollywood, but for not fucking with the yeah. Turn me up in the booth.
It made me think of something that you said about Angela Bassett earlier this week. And you were explaining how Robert Downey's getting 80 million or 100 million, but then she's only getting 300K. But I was listening to that, like, yeah, guys, that's what she agreed to. She could have said no while the contract negotiations were happening. Nothing forced her from doing that.
Yes and no. I mean, she can walk away, and then walking away from Disney in their second installment for this franchise. How do you think her relationships in Hollywood would go after that? How do you think Disney would try to hamper her work after the embarrassment of walking away from them in Black Panther 2?
I don't think that's how it worked. I think that she got a contract for Black Panther 1 and there will be sequels.
Mhm.
Do you agree? And that's what she agreed to.
Well, I
Whatever she
mean,
got paid
it
for the
could have
first
worked out
movie
where
was a lower.
it could have been a like depending on how the first movie goes, then we'll talk for the second one, or the agreement for the second movie could have been written into the first contract. I don't know. I'm saying in
I
terms of
do
her
know that's exactly how
negotiating.
they work. That they for sure did it that
Well,
way. They did
I
it
don't
that way.
think
That's
the
it.
specific terms were written for what she's going to get paid in the second movie were determined in the initial contract.
So something that Amber Heard said when she was on Johnny Depp, it was a 3-picture deal. The first one was 500K. The
Amber
second one
Heard
was a
works for
million.
Warner Brothers. Why are we to assume that Warner Brothers writes the contracts the same way, or Marvel writes the same way as Warner Brothers?
If the studio being different makes that much of a difference, then my example
I
doesn't
mean,
work.
contracts vary is my point. Like there are different terms. That's why there are contracts.
Okay,
The
well,
only thing
that is an example of a studio going, this is a 3-picture deal. Or when Terrence Howard was talking to Joe Rogan, he explained how they had a 3-picture deal and things were already agreed on of how he would
that's
do a first
cool.
movie for this much, a second movie for that much, and a third movie.
We're arguing about different things. I'm not talking about the terms. I'm talking about negotiating power. You're asking Angela Bassett to exert power she doesn't have. She can't
No,
ask
she had
for.
it in 2018, right before Black Panther 1.
She didn't. First of all,
Yes,
she
she did.
wasn't even the lead of that franchise. You
Well,
think
then
she
she
has
could
enough
have
money?
not taken the
She has
job.
enough power, right? And if she doesn't take the job, they would have moved on and replaced her like they did Terrence Howard.
No. I'm talking about the first contract. I'm talking about in 2016
And if
when
she didn't
18's movie.
accept, if she would have walked in here and said, "You're going to pay me Robert Downey Jr. is making," and they said no, they would have put someone else in her place. Angela Bassett would have never been known as being Queen Mother, and we would have moved on and proceeded as normal.
I have to agree.
Wait,
Why do you think? How do you
no.
think?
I
Where's
took
this
it the wrong
power
way.
coming from?
I took it the wrong way. So
Yeah.
yes, you said they're going to replace her character, which made me think you were talking about after the first movie and
No,
before the
if she
second movie.
puts up this fight for the initial contract, she never
Yeah.
gets the role. Yeah, we're not.
She
even
goes,
talking
"You
about
guys
this.
want to cast me, Angela Bassett, to become the mother in the Black Panther franchise? All right, let's hear what you got to say." And they say, "We're only offering this much," and she can say, "Well, I'm worth this much." That's the negotiation. And if they agree that she is worth that much, and she agrees to take the deal, then she took the deal.
You're ignoring the fact that the general market for a Black female actress in general starts out in the floor in
Yes.
comparison to what we're talking about for Robert Downey. So there
Yes.
is no, oh, I'm just going to ask for what something in the realm of what Robert Downey Jr. is, and if I don't get it, I'm going to walk. That then you're going to walk from every offer you get because no one's getting that money.
Don't you see that what you just said is making my point for me?
Who's getting paid that money, Chill? Who's getting that? Who's walking into the office and saying, "You're going to pay me what Robert Downey's making, $100 million over two movies," and getting it?
Yeah, nobody's doing that at all.
So then why make her ask for it then? Why make her shoot for that?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying she should shoot for the Robert Downey paycheck. I'm just explaining that. Okay, well, maybe I don't understand why you were upset then. What were you upset? Because I feel like you're doing my
You were
side.
saying Angela Bassett. So let's rewind it back. You were saying Angela Bassett should have negotiated out of that $350,000 in comparison to what Robert Downey Jr. is getting, right? Where is her leverage coming from? How would she have gotten that?
She wouldn't have
if the standard in Hollywood is already, this is your tax bracket and this is their tax bracket. How does she bridge that gap through negotiation? There is no fair negotiation there.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm saying to you. You're taking my position that there's nothing there.
She should never been Queen Ramoon. And in that aspect, then we agree.
Wait, she shouldn't have been Queen Ramoon? No, I'm not saying that one either. I'm saying she got what the market dictates. That character is worth that much money. Whether it's Angela Bassett or she said no and they picked Viola Davis or somebody else, that character is worth that much money.
Yeah. That's all well and good. I think that there are other cameos we can point to where they weren't Black actors that they paid a lot of money for. You know, I don't think that they really cheaped out on James Spader, even though it was just voice acting. I don't think that they cheap out on appearances like Paul Bettany as Vision, right? Like those guys are not getting paid $350,000 to appear in their movies. So what's the argument here? Are those characters worth more than that, or is Ultron worth more, that much more, millions, $200 million or 200 times more than Queen Ramonda's role in Black Panther? I don't think so. I just think that okay. I mean, you think the voice actor for Ultron is worth getting paid 200 times what the actual actor for Ramonda is? 200 times?
200 times 350K. What's 200 times that?
That would be the 100 million that Robert Downey Jr. is getting paid.
Yeah, that he wouldn't be worth that. No.
I don't think any pay discrepancy is worth that. I don't think there's anything that anyone can do in a single project.
Thing that this, because I'm obviously I'm coming in late. Is this a black and white thing? Is that I'm just asking, are we putting that in there?
Because that's always there. Because I heard Megan Good in her Club Shay Shay, she said that the first time she ever got paid was from Tyler Perry, and he gave her what she was worth. So yeah, it's a black and white thing.
Okay, then then she was never going to be able to walk in that room, in a Marvel room for that matter, especially us seeing, how Marvel, I mean, this is not us seeing as in like new, this has been going on. Marvel doesn't give a fuck about their black staff, about their black talent, about their black projects. And it is, I don't know how to, I'm getting to the point where I don't know that I want to watch anything. And I'm being honest with you. That's the point I'm getting to, because anyway, I know y'all are talking about Ramonda and things like that, but I know you're talking about the black and white thing, adding that to it. So I'm just going to stop it there and say, no, I agree. I don't believe she would have been able to walk in any room and say what she wanted or whatever. When she protested about her character dying, she was told whatever she was told, and it didn't change things. I mean, she gave the Oscar-winning performance, even though she didn't win, the Oscar-winning performance she gave, she still didn't win. She came behind fucking Freaky Friday Jamie Lee Curtis. So no, I don't believe she would have been able to walk in there and been like, give me that type of money or anything like that.
I wonder what they paid.
She's been replaced.
Tilda, the chick who did the Ancient One.
Yeah.
I wonder what they paid her. I wonder what she was paid to be in the first Doctor Strange. I feel like in terms of impact, right? It's like in terms of franchises. I would like to think that if all is fair, it's somewhere around what Angela Bassett was paid, but my skepticism tells me that she got paid well north of that, probably closer to the million than the 350,000. I would think.
I would like to think Denai Guerrera got paid well. Of course, the machete or the Michonne character. Remember, like, she knows how to wield a sword and she knows how to get active.
I don't think anybody other than Letitia got paid more than Angela Bassett.
Lupita Nyong'o, wasn't she an Oscar winner? Love interest?
Maybe. Okay. I could see the argument for Lupita. I could see her agent working in there, maybe. Right. She's the tie back to the fatal lost character. Maybe. But they're in a very long list. No, that may have gotten paid more than Ramonda.
I was gonna say she didn't get paid. Well, like even for Black Panther 2, though, she got paid.
Yeah, not the whole franchise, just for 2.
If she got paid more than Angela Bassett for the shit role she had in Wakanda Forever, that's crazy. I don't give a fuck if it's Lupita Nyong'o or not. That's crazy.
But whatever she was paid based off of the contract they signed years ago. This is a 3-picture deal, and you're getting the second part of it. Work. And she did get paid more for the second movie than she did for the first movie.
But remember, though, Black Panther 2, they got the pay increases. They did get, they all got a bump because of the situation. Which does it feel like to anybody else that they just split what would have been Chadwick Boseman's salary for this movie? Does that feel like what happened in their pay bump for the movie? That's why the movie was so expensive. It felt like they just split what would have been Chad's salary,
which we don't know would have been much. He wasn't that big of a deal when he joined for Civil War. So that was a 2016 film. Whenever he signed that contract, this isn't they probably got him for a good deal.
To come back, we know it would have probably more than likely would have been significantly higher than what he was paid for his first 3 appearances in the MCU, which totaled around $4 million altogether, which is I mean, again, they just keep showing us. They just keep showing you over and over again what they really value. But it's upon you to pay attention.
Hey,
But
Kevin,
I think it was significantly more than what he was getting paid for his first Black Panther and the Civil War and everything else. It would have had to have been, because why else would you come back? He had, obviously, work wasn't a problem for him. So he didn't really need Marvel.
I do have to agree with that. Sorry, Marcus. But yeah, I do have to agree with what Kevin said. Honestly, I do. And the
diversity and inclusion just wasn't.
And the reason I say that is because if you look back at old cartoons, like you look at Lilo and Stitch, you look at Brother Bear, like culture stuff was always within those films. It just wasn't like shoved in your face like they're doing it now. Like i.e. the best example I can give in Marvel currently is Fastos. Like that like what they did with Fastos and Eternals. They used to do shit like that back, but it wasn't like, hey, do you see what we're doing? We're checking the box. It wasn't as loud.
There was a time where the biggest stuff on Disney was like, Jet Jackson with Lee Thompson Young. Yeah. He was the absolute quintessential star of Disney Channel. R.I.P.
Yeah.
To the king. Smart Guy was on there for a while. Then
Proud Family.
Yeah, Proud Family transitioned in the early 2000s. Proud Family, Raven. Yep, right. Like there was a period there where they heavily leaned into their Black IPs, and it wasn't like stereotypically Black.
Right.
It was just like these are normal people. Just so happen to be Black, and they're some of the biggest child stars right now. They're some of the biggest child acts. Kyla Pratt voice acting for Penny Proud. Like, man, good night.
That was a
boy watching cartoons on Disney with genius marketing. But
hell yeah,
it was a begotten age. So Nickelodeon was like that as well.
Nickelodeon
was definitely blacker than Disney in the 90s. Nickelodeon was basically a Black channel in the 90s. Like when Nickelodeon was at its best, when it was at its most popular, it was a Black channel.
Okay. And now they're doing it too much. What changed?
No,
now?
I didn't say anything about what they're doing.
I don't think they're doing it too much. I think that it's just so like it's they want you to see that they are checking that box. They want the audience to know.
It's very analytical now. It's not natural, right? Like when they have Meg Thee Stallion in the MCU thing, she has to be turned around twerking, right? Instead of her coming into the Marvel universe and doing something, I don't know, superhero related. Nah, just turn around and do that thing you do, right? Like that type of Blackness is what's important to them, right? Black for the purpose of checking a box. They are not giving Black people the chance to shine the way that they were in the early 2000s or the 90s. And it really is a travesty, man, because I honestly believe a lot of the best TV that I was getting out of the Nickelodeon, Disney alike, came from a lot of Black creators. It's not that it has to dominate. It doesn't have to. You don't have to wave a Black Panther flag. I'm just saying, the same way that you farm IP for what you think is the all-American girl or the all-American boy. It can be a Black face, and you can do it the same way. Just take a deep breath, do it, and watch the results. I promise you, it'll be all right.
I don't care what y'all say. That scene was funny, and then she went, bless me. I don't know about y'all. What
we talking about? The She-Hulk scene? You can have it. That's
she said, she said,
yeah, you can have it.
What did she say, Marcus? What did she say?
She need a lozenge.
All right. We're going to segue from racism and Disney to Beau DeMayo.
Well, we're back in racism and Disney. All right.
Well, he tweeted out a link. It is time for him to talk. He actually teased it on the weekend.
He's fucking me up with this paywall stuff, man. He fucking me up.
So over on Deadline, the headline is, I have the receipts. Beau DeMayo decries Marvel's criminal working condition, goes to court to overturn illegal Disney NDA. During this entire article, they badmouth him. They, speak on him not so pleasantly. I just want to skip to the back to the end. Wait, oh, by the way, the paywall thing. So this is him on OnlyFans. It's a 30-minute video, and you can watch him talk and discuss his experiences.
Insane.
And he starts with a small grievances and things that people would say on the side, are very uninclusive of him, and he would build to some of the bigger stuff in his 30 minutes. And he's got more to say, and he put it behind a $9.99 OnlyFans. You two seem to be against it, but when someone writes a tell-all book, doesn't that come with a price also? Whenever
Very different.
Go ahead, Darius.
Different. A tell-all book is different. And the reason I say that it is different is because you are now exploiting, I feel like, the drama and our curiosity as fans, but I'm not that damn curious, to pay for whatever it is to put money in your pocket. And I get it. It's that day and age. If I can make $1 off it, I'm going to do it. I get it. But here's my thing. All that fucking talking he was doing on Twitter before, he wasn't doing it behind a paywall. All that when he was talking about, the truth is going to come out. It wasn't behind the paywall. Now all of a sudden you want to get behind this paywall, and then you want to have us pay you for your version of the truth. No, that's crazy. That's insane to me. And like I said on Twitter, it makes me lean more toward, you were sending these pictures. You were doing some of the things because it's like you're getting behind the paywall for me is just it's a bit much. It's doing too much. I'm like, it just doesn't make sense. Just get on. If you have something you want to say to us or tell us the truth or whatever, just get on YouTube or your Facebook, or not your Facebook, your Instagram Live or whatever, and just speak. There's no reason to get behind these paywalls
He can
and do these
monetize
30-minute
that.
episodes.
We do YouTube videos. We put ads in the front of it, and
We
in a 30-minute
do.
video, he put like 6 ads in the middle of it.
We
He'll be
do, but
making money off of it too.
no one right now is paying to watch us talk. This is
There
free.
are some people with YouTube Premium who are paying to watch us talk.
There may be some people with YouTube Premium, but we are not setting a paywall up for you to come and listen to us talk. When I leave here, I'm leaving here with the same amount of money I sat down here with.
Wait, you're not going to put monetize on the live stream? You're making money off of it.
I'm going to put monetize on the live stream, but that's like cents, 2 cents, 3 cents, 4 cents. Do you know what my YouTube account looks like at the end of each month? I'm not making that much.
Shout out to Super Chats, and thank you for the support, everybody.
Yeah. Shout out to Super Chats.
But
I mean,
the level, the amount of money he makes has to do with your amount of respect for it. Okay, it's free information.
No,
it's information.
It's not even the level of. It's not even the level of the amount that he's making. It's the fact that you are charging to have somebody hear your version, again, your version of the truth. But when you were doing all this talking before,
he wasn't doing
it.
It
was free for all.
But it wasn't like this on Twitter. This is actual dirt. This is names. This is more exclusive. And we'll see when Variety posts what they took from it.
So because you are now putting names in there, and because you are now name dropping Kevin, come pay to hear me say Kevin Feige did this to me, or Victoria Alonso did this to me. I have to pay to hear you say somebody's name. That's crazy to me.
Then don't pay.
Have to. I'm not. If you are about it, like he keeps on saying he is, that the truth is gone. You fuck all that. Get on the internet, get on Twitter, say what you gotta say, and leave it at that. Put the ball in their court. But when you go putting it behind paywalls, and to me, that's also hiding, because it's not public for everyone. You are still withholding information. If you want to he started this whole thing. You wanted this to go the way you wanted it to go. It's public now. So what are you hiding behind a paywall, withholding information from everyone? That doesn't make sense to me.
I liked it better when he was talking behind his lawyer. It felt stronger. It felt like it was coming from a position of strength. And it felt like you're letting someone official take the reins. This feels like he's driving the narrative too much, which, if you have the truth on your side, you're not worried about the narrative. So this is confusing motivations for me, right? This seems like I want to keep the focus where I want to keep the focus. I want a controlled environment to release this information. Like, all of that feels unnecessary if we're just trying to get the truth out there. And then again, you were already doing it the right way, in my estimation, by talking behind your lawyer, right? Addressing each point that Disney was throwing out there in a legal way, right? And then the only thing you would have need to do is just drop the fact that you're suing Disney over the NDA, and that would be enough. That would be enough. This feels weird, man. I don't know. It doesn't really push me in a way of his innocence or guilt, but I don't like what it's projecting, right? It shows that he's very concerned about the narrative. And that wouldn't have that very high on my list at the moment.
I agree with the both of you. Like, this is an incorrect method. It doesn't mean he's lying about everything in the past, of course, but it's just it's not something I would have done. And I would have thought it through a longer. Yes, it's OnlyFans. You can do anything explicit. No one's ever going to censor what you got to say. So yeah, OnlyFans, sure, but. And maybe it's $10 too much. Like, Darius, if it was a $1, because Jeff Snyder, he put his information behind a paywall, and you have.
I don't pay Jeff.
Don't pay Jeff either?
I don't pay Jeff. I don't pay Daniel. I don't pay none of them. To me, like I said, when people, I said this a long time ago when people were subscribing to Can We Get Some Toast? I said, if any of you pay Can We Get Some Toast for a scoop, you're a fucking dumbass. You're a dumbass. And anybody paying to watch Beau, you're a dumbass. Because if you don't think that 30-minute stream is going to eventually end up online, it will. Or a clip or something from it is going to end up online. Nobody, and I like what Marcus said too about controlling the narrative. I would assume, I don't know. I would assume, unless there are some really messy people, most of the people that are subscribing are Team Beau. And I'm not saying I'm not Team Beau. Especially if he is proven to not have done any of that shit, I'm not saying I'm not Team Beau. Yeah. But I'm saying most of the people in there probably are Team Beau. So it's probably all, on his side, all this kind of stuff. On Twitter, he doesn't get to control who. I mean, he could limit his comments or anything like that, but he doesn't get to control the replies and things like that. And he probably doesn't want to go head to head with some of the people that would have something to say, whatever. One of the things that always comes to mind with me and with me and him is, what's the dude's name that called Storm Mammy and was going back and forth with him and shut him down? Yeah, there you go. He doesn't want a Marcel Vixen to come in and destroy his narrative that
could be part of it too, because he got a little bit of flack from Black Twitter about the whole Storm thing. He's got multiple factions out here that are not friendly fire, right? He's got the shill crowd of the MCU that's eating whatever Marvel puts out, so they believe anything that Marvel has said. Then there are the X-Men 97 fans who had concerns about some of the stuff that was done in X-Men 97 that he didn't necessarily want to hear online. That's what kind of spurred all of the talking online, and so his activation back on Twitter. So maybe this was a way of doing it so that he doesn't have to face all of that, so he doesn't have to deal with it. He can get it out and just not have to combat the back and forth, right? Or to see like he's overtly hiding himself, because if he does it in Instagram Live, he would have to turn his comments off or something like that. And then now you're showing your belly to people too. This was a easy way for him to get it out there to as many people that would pay him to do it. The paying thing just kind of throws it all the way off for me. I just, we'll see what comes of it. We're apparently going to court, so none of this actually matters, but it doesn't feel right for me.
Yeah, it's a little
Beau DeMayo bluntly said this morning, in the end, the offenses Marvel and others have leaked are designed to distract you from what really offended them. Someone like me dared to speak the truth to people like them. They wanted me to be the black stamp of approval on this project. I declined. They wanted to erase aspects of my personality that clashed or proved inconvenient with the misguided narrative they wanted to establish. I declined. So far, I believe him, guys. Do you guys believe him so far?
Oh yes,
All of this
without
is
a doubt, I
plausible,
do.
yeah.
I'll let you finish because I have something to say on this, but I believe that all of it.
They tried to intimidate me with both explicit and implied threats. I was not intimidated. Everything they have done since then has been designed not just to silence me and smear me, but to crush me and remind me to know my role.
How many times
Sounds
have
like
we
a large
talked about?
corporation.
Oh yeah, we've talked about it many times together on our individual channels about just I mean, most recently, if it is true, and what Daniel RPK said about Armor Wars and Blade, I've been saying that about Blade for the longest, being shelved or going to be decided what to do with them in the coming months. I want you to take a look at this. Every project that was announced in 2019 alongside Armor Wars and Blade are out on Disney Plus and digital. They've seen their time. They've had their people come and watch. These are the only two. And what are these two projects have in
Don't
common?
forget Ironheart. Ironheart was a straggler as well.
There you go.
Straggler.
There you go. What do those three projects have in common?
The skin tone.
Melanin. Yeah. And so no, I absolutely believe Beau when he's saying that, because like, know your role, know your place. We like I said about Nate Moore. Where the fuck is he? You only saw him when he needed to be that
The
box.
talking head. Hey,
Yes.
the black people are angry. Go talk,
Yep.
Nate. Go
Yep.
talk. And he was like, "Hey,
Yep.
you see that graveyard over there, right? You want the Black Panther to end up over there? Shut up and eat this Wakanda forever." Basically.
Yep.
Roundabout.
Yep. So anytime that they need that, that's the same thing with Ryan Coogler. Everybody keeps talking about Ryan Coogler's just this great. He's such a great Marvel director. No, nigga, he is simply there to simply check a box. That's
You
it.
just David fucking Porter. You ain't the future or nothing, bitch. You just David fucking Porter. Shout out
So
to him.
I mean, I agree with them. I think that he was probably told those things. They wanted him to be their black stamp of approval.
The next thing that he reveals is the settlement agreement. Yeah, he gotten rid of, but they agreed of how they were going to operate. There was going to be this big press release. We're all going to speak nicely on each other. Here it is, word for word. Now, his lawyer says that this is faulty. They shouldn't have been allowed to be sent. It was improper. So that's the dispute that they're going to take to court. This contract, this words.
So, I guess I'll just leave the legal jargon where it is. My lawyer. But does he actually name names? Like, do we get specifics of who he's accusing of these behaviors and these actions? Does he name drop and they're just not putting it in an article because that stuff was behind the paywall? Has anybody said like he's actually said anybody? Because if you made people pay $9.99 and I didn't hear you say a single name or plant an accusation at anyone's feet, that's sending me even further away. Like I don't understand what we're doing right now.
I think the accusations might have been said. I don't believe names were said somewhere in that article. If it's the same article, is this the article Beau tweeted himself?
No, yeah, Deadline didn't do it, and I was just showing you Deadline. I moved to Variety where they will start. They actually talk about what happened. So while he did not refer to anyone by name, DeMayo also outlined several specific allegations of misconduct against Marvel and Disney executives and employees that range widely in severity and magnitude. They include, number one, get ready, guys, because it's juicy. And by the way, as juicy as this has got nothing to do with his separations agreement. He's just speaking really to his experiences working at the company and just making them look bad. But hey, what did they try doing to him with the Snyder Report? All right, now here we go. Beau DeMayo alleges that his identity as a gay black man was weaponized by Marvel executives and select crew members to undermine me and use the same dog whistling stereotypes favored by bigots for decades. He's big, he's intimidating to opinionated, angry, emotional, flamboyant, dramatic, a pervert. Okay. DeMayo alleged that he fought Marvel executives over his desires to adapt storylines from previously published X-Men comic book runs rather than create brand new stories for the show as they desired, and he was called uncollaborative, too difficult, and too much of a fanboy. They openly resented me fighting for the fans, he says. So believable. And that's how he was on.
They said it themselves. They've admitted that they don't like A, people who read the comic books and stick to the source material, and B, having a 1-to-1 towards the comic books. They've admitted those things over and over and over again. So yeah, I absolutely believe that.
The Witcher had the same problems with him about how he wanted to keep. He was like Henry Cavill. He wanted to have things that were accurate. DeMayo alleges that executives painted him as abusive when he declined to have the character of Jubilee making gang signs or paint the sky with plasmoids in the shape of a middle fingers. Sure.
That's not a gang sign. Yeah, see, like, okay, well, keep reading.
Wait, I'm confused on that one, but go ahead.
Well, it's confusing because it's stupid. They wouldn't want Jubilee to be making gang signs or.
Well, that's not the point.
The
painting him as abusive. What does that mean? Like, did they say that in front of other employees? Did they leak a story about you? Like, what does that mean? Painted you as abusive?
Yeah, good point. I want to know how. And I'm not saying it's not true. I'm just saying I want to know exactly how that works.
Yeah, how?
Beau DeMayo alleges that there are near criminal working conditions for VFX and animation artists at Marvel, and that people who worked on X-Men 97 were rapidly losing weight and having mental breakdowns. And when he emailed Marvel leadership about these issues, he experienced retaliation.
But we know this.
See, now why don't you lead with that? Why don't you come in with a fucking? You don't need $9.99, fam. You could be on Good Morning America tomorrow. People love stuff like this. America loves stuff like this. Large corporation coming down on their worker for talking about unfair working conditions. They'll have your ass up on Capitol Hill next week if you played this shit right.
And not only that, with Marvel, with it being Marvel, they would love it because Marvel's being in the state that they currently are in, just social wise. The headlines
could have played this so much differently. Yeah, oh man, the VFX artist thing is something that we have heard about outside of this. So that's something that seems to corroborate what we already know. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That the working conditions are terrible, and it has not just
you can
Marvel,
still pull those quotes up. There were those VFX workers were taking to Reddit, taking to Twitter. You can still pull all those quotes up, the things they were saying. Oh yeah, bro.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And we've been hearing this for a couple of years now, so all of that's verifiable. But the fact that all of this could have this was the seed that started the negative interaction between him, and he can verify it, fam. That's like smoking gun level. You have verifiable proof that you stood up for violations.
What's the verifiable proof?
The communication that he sent to Disney, right, is like it would come under what would constitute, I think it's like whistleblower protections. So him going to his employer and letting them know about some sort of workplace violation, something that's criminal that's going on in there that they're responsible for. And then as in some sort of manner, as a result of that, he then begins to be picked on disciplinarily. I can't say that. Say it again.
Disciplinarily.
There it is. Then he can put those dots together. Like that kind of establishes a timeline. They've kind of fucked themselves in that manner. When they found out that they had something going on that's probably not lawful in the workplace and that somebody's reporting it, you leave that person alone. You isolate them. You don't begin to then try to, if you start picking on them, now they got a lawsuit. Right, I think any basic HR person would tell you that. Don't prod the person who's liable to get us hemmed up on a bunch of workplace violations. We violating OSHA laws and stuff. A man died on the Wonder Man set. That shit went quietly in the night. People still aren't talking about it. Somebody died on the Wonder Man set, and it's no wonder why we haven't heard anything about that production, because who knows if that shit is even done shooting. Talking about grief over on Wakanda Forever. Imagine going back to shoot for that project and somebody died while you were filming.
But they don't care. Never mind.
No, I mean they probably don't care. They're fighting the fine that they got over it. But my point is that this is so much stronger than going back and forth with them over the salacious nature of whatever it was that they found in their investigation, or even like, I don't know, man. I don't know. This paints him as a hero. This paints him as a hero. Like, I would have taken a completely different angle with this. Like, I stood up to Marvel for the lower employees here at this company that have no voice. I was their sword. I was the sword of the people, and Marvel drove me out because of that. Stand on that. I would damn all.
I remember a Korean studio being the animators. I don't know how he has this information if he's not in Korea. What is he seeing that they're experiencing how could he prove it, right? He's got an email to Marvel leadership. Fine. And he got retaliation for it. Fine. I would like to know how exactly that happened with you being so far away from him.
Get the information?
I mean, being the show,
VFX artist?
being the show, I was gonna say, being the showrunner, they could be emailing him saying, "Hey, brother, I ain't seen my family in 6 weeks. Shit,
like I can't meet your deadlines," and then he's
ways.
Inquiring why, and that's probably.
And as the showrunner, I'm working there. I'm supposed to be like hooking everyone up with good treatment and stuff, and they're not being treated well. I would think, okay, that lands on my shoulder, so I do have to speak up. I do have to, so that no one can say like I was just okay with this.
Right, you weren't, so that you're not complicit. Yeah, absolutely.
You're not complicit. There it is, complicitarily.
Shut the hell up.
So I got it. Now I also understand the perception of the boss. You stop being a little disturber. Stop stirring the pot here. Let's do the job. If when we do bad and we have our shortcomings, you don't call attention to it, and you get to be in season 2. But if you keep doing this, and it appears that he'll keep doing this, I'll keep reading. So let me shut up and let keep you reading. Beau DeMayo alleges he notified a producer on X-Men 97 that one of our leads is having a potentially exploitive sexual relationship with a PA. What's PA?
Personal assistant? I don't know.
Oh, okay. One of the leads is with a PA. And the producer buried his report and informed the individual in question of DeMayo's complaint. So here you go saying, hey, something's wrong is happening here. This is inappropriate. All right, let's just keep this thing.
And then they leaked the complaint to the man.
Hey, look out for Beau when you production assistant. Thank you, Urban Guru.
Production assistant.
So hey, you and your little relationship with the production assistant, Beau knows about it, so watch out. He's this guy. He likes to talk. So that's the environment there at work, allegedly.
And it's crazy that what they led with was his HR infractions, and yet it seems like this started with him reporting a certain someone's. Oh, just come on, tell me who it is. Be like the lawsuit from oh man, what was dude's name? Lil Rod, where he very vaguely talked about a rapper in Philly, or an R&B singer, one of that performed in the Super Bowl, right? Like, give me one of those explanations at least. Tell me who you talking about.
He alleges the same producer on X-Men 97 repeatedly joked to crew that he showed DeMayo's thirst traps on Instagram to his underage son, and his kid is wondering, do they need to buy me shirts for Christmas? Underage son, that could mean 17 and a half years old, or it could mean 7.
That's weird.
But see, this goes back to when everybody was speculating, oh, was it his OnlyFans? Was it his OnlyFans? This is why I was meaning, like, in order for you to, outside of him telling you have an OnlyFans, know what he's posting on his OnlyFans at Marvel.
Follow that shit.
Yeah, you're subscribed.
You gotta follow that shit.
Beau DeMayo alleges that an artist on X-Men 97 repeatedly denounced all men as jerks and accused Beau DeMayo of failing the cause because he kept the male character, Cyclops, as the leader of the X-Men. Who was that artist? Who the hell said that?
Damn, holy shit. I'm over here thinking Beau is the problem. Holy shit. He's trying to steer the ship. I mean, wow. and still, I'm not letting go of my criticisms of X-Men 97. They are what they are. But damn, think about that. Like, I'm thinking from my perspective, though, like, bro, we're misfiring. But then you don't even know what he's fighting on the other side, allegedly. To keep it even what it was. Like, damn. Cyclops being the leader of the X-Men is a problem for you in a continuation of the X-Men cartoon from the 90s? Who is this person working here? How do they have this job?
You're on the wrong
telling
team,
you.
Bo. Where's the woman? The woman
But
should be in the
this-
lead.
This
Holy
tracks,
shit.
though. This tracks. I'm not saying that. Not even things that this tracks outside of projects Bo was not even, not even a part of within Marvel. This tracks. We look at the shitty projects we've been getting. If whoever in the writers' room was saying that they didn't want Cyclops as the lead was the same person that agreed on or same type person that checked off on the goofy ass shit we've been getting within Marvel. I'm telling you, this shit tracks. That allegedly, if this is all true,
I believe it.
he's the hero here.
What producer? What female producer? Victoria Alonso was long gone before they started doing this, right?
Yeah, an artist
she was
on
gone.
X-Men.
Couldn't
This
have
is
been
good.
her.
This is
In
interesting.
Marvel, damn.
Yeah, it's interesting and it's so believable. This is how they've been. And you know what it does?
Yeah,
It
all of this is
proves-
believable. Sure.
It proves correct those anti-inclusion YouTubers who've been making a name for themselves all this time. The woman agenda, this agenda. Bro, there's clearly a woman's agenda. You're not helping. You're not helping the cause you think you are when you're trying this hard to enforce that into your.
You're not
fiction.
part of the team. Oh
No.
my god.
I hate that the left and the right are fighting each other with our properties. I hate both sides because they're both pretty
get
warped.
this shit out of here. Yeah, get the fuck out of here with this stuff. Go back to CNN with that nonsense.
Because Marvel doesn't hire people who read comics. They are the ones writing this into the MCU and just picking what they see online or maybe in a cartoon. And Kevin says, Beau DeMayo could have been told his story when he got fired in March. He's not innocent either. I told you that Kevin is an op. Thanks, Kevin. Huh?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think he's. I don't think he's.
Kevin
I don't know right now.
Davis,
I don't know
huh?
right now.
Davis.
Kevin Davis.
Let's go. Next one. DeMayo alleges that a lead artist on the show told him at a company barbecue in 2021 that her husband felt that I must get a lot of dick based upon how I look. All right. That's
What the fuck?
And I don't. And you know what? I do not. I believe this, and the reason I believe this because he's within Hollywood. Look at P. Diddy's shit. All the weird shit that goes down in Hollywood. I believe it. He probably was saying that shit because he probably was like, let's see if he wants to swing with us and we can get some dick. I'm telling you, there's some weird ass fucking people.
From the artist?
Oh, yeah.
The illustrator? My God.
I believe all this shit. I believe all this
Jesus.
shit.
Is everybody in Hollywood a freaky frog? Even like the people with
Everybody.
normal jobs? Like, I get it. If you're an actor, you're high on your own hog. You're larger than life. People worship you to a certain degree. Those people live different lives. I understand that. If you are an illustrator, you work in an office like the rest of us. You work a 9 to 5. You tie your shoes and put your pants on every morning, just like I do. What in the hell?
People are weird.
Right,
People are
there is
weird.
something toxic about that place, yo.
and how comfortable are you with Beau DeMayo to say that? Like he's a person,
Well,
bro, and
no, it ain't
clearly
about
not friends.
That
Yeah,
part I
it's-
understand. It's not about him being comfortable with Beau DeMayo. He's comfortable with saying it because Beau DeMayo's black. Now, if that had been a white gay man, I think he probably would have given him a little bit more. He probably still would have said what he said, but it would have been a little bit more discreet. The fact that Beau is gay and he's black gives him the open door to say whatever the hell he wants, because what are you going to do? What are you going to say? Who's going to take your side?
So, see, the more tame version of this is, hey, I bet you get a lot of tail looking like that. Something like
like it's that version of it for men, of course. Yeah, absolutely.
when Beau DeMayo requested contacting producers of RuPaul's Drag Race about promoting X-Men 97, he alleges he was told by Marvel that they wouldn't want to alienate certain audiences. Bro, okay, look, they were just looking for a way to say no, and that's the answer that they gave. They should have said no in a different way. They should have said, we don't want to do RuPaul's Drag Race. Why? And we don't want to alienate some certain audiences. That's all. I'm not mad at Marvel for that one, but they just chose the wrong words.
I
I think they're full of shit for saying that. And the reason because Marvel picks and chooses when they want to dabble in this or dabble in that to try to get certain audiences. No, fuck them.
You said they just want to be a little bit gay. We can't be RuPaul gay. We can't be cross-dressing. Hey, I mean, look, bro. I just don't even know how that conversation would go. So I think one of the collaborations we should do in marketing should be RuPaul's Drag Race. Yeah, that would be great for X-Men 97. I think that would go perfect with the concept that we have for season 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Seamless. What do you think, Kevin?
Okay, yeah, we're already doing a thing with drag in Ironheart, so that's too much. We're not that into the community, the LGBT, or you're the G, right? You're the G. You're my G, Beau. Nah, it's a no from us.
Damn, I still can't get over the damn illustrator, yo. Like, what the hell? The artist?
To figure out how RuPaul would have promoted 97.
I mean, he probably would have walked with them in one of his
what would
theory
that commercial
pieces,
have looked like?
pieces.
Oh god, that's
RuPaul.
That's an episode I would have watched. I would have watched that episode. RuPaul's drag. What is the X
Drag
97?
Race.
I'd have watched that. I'd have watched that episode.
If you guys are
Beau
into
would
the
have been on
comics,
that one.
you know the annual Hellfire Gala where people dress up in.
Oh yeah,
something
no,
cool with
very
drag.
flamboyant. Yeah, very
flamboyant.
What is it? Who is
very
it?
flamboyant. The Hellfire
Every
Gala.
year, yeah, Hellfire Gala is the name of the comic event, but it's an annual event where you get to
Damn,
vote
is that
for the
going to be
next.
gone? Is that going to be gone now since the X-Men titles are all scattered and nobody gives a shit anymore?
It might be gone now, but Hellfire Gala, look it up, Darius. DeMayo alleges that Marvel's PR department listed homosexuality as a hot button issue to avoid, alongside school shootings, the Gaza conflict, and abortion. That's believable.
Yeah, I mean, the homosexuality thing is probably new. Probably since they lost that Florida case.
This is right around that time.
Yeah. And then school shootings, that's an obvious thing. I don't think you ever really want to put that into a show unless you have to. The Gaza conflict, of course, because AIPAC tells them to.
How is homosexuality a hot button issue if you got Joe Locke about to portray homosexual Wiccan?
So what they were going on, I think at the time they started production with this, they were losing a battle in Florida over the "Don't Say Gay" bill. It was something Ron DeSantis put out there, but he was really going after Disney with it. That and a couple other pieces of legislation. He was really attacking them at the moment. And so they probably got this directive at the time that they started backing off a lot of their I mean, I can't describe it anything else other than their gay content, like Strange World, and I wouldn't call Lightyear especially gay, but they had the moms in there.
You talking about the way they got away without casting a black father? You talking about that? The moms?
Yeah. Basically. That's something that they do. They basically make the minority character be the double for representation. So not only are you brown, or black, but you're gay, or you're some other orientation within a community. So it's weird. I don't even know where we're going with all this. Beau DeMayo, yes. I don't think it was as much as a hot button topic as if it was as much as it was. We can't do this at the moment because they have the magnifying glass on us about this particularly.
And I would say, what was the issues when they were talking about school shootings? Like, what was the episode? What was the episode with Gaza? I can imagine the Genoshan thing.
Well, I think he said these were probably like guidelines. This is probably what they told him outright. You can't introduce into the show. I would think. Yeah.
I was thinking this accumulated throughout the weeks and weeks, and then he just spewed all 4 of these topics all at once. But I guess they're guidelines also. That's possible. And probably nothing written on paper, but spoken.
Sure. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, spoken. Absolutely.
So allegedly, so we got no proof of it. Anyways, DeMayo now alleges that Marvel executives joked in front of DeMayo that they'd hired a young Wesley Snipes to write on Blade, which is one of the reasons I wanted to do this video, is so that you can see that Wesley Snipes and I look nothing alike, he adds. What did they mean by that? A young Wesley
That's a
Snipes.
white person joke for sure.
No, that is, you are a disturber on set. Wesley Snipes was known to be some sort of a hard to work with kind of guy.
Oh,
So
I
are you,
got
Beau.
you. He's a problem. He's
problem.
an issue. He's a problem. I got you. I didn't pick that up.
And it looks like he is a problem. Now, what are the things he's whistleblowing for? Some of the stuff is legitimate, and some of the stuff is things that we would think that Marvel, the way they present themselves, are people who wouldn't want these work conditions. And for him to speak out against it internally and handle things as the showrunner and taking his responsibility seriously, these are commendable actions from him if things went like he alleges that they went.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe it. I do. I really do. That's
so now you're gonna subscribe.
Very interesting.
So now you're gonna OnlyFans.
No, hell no, I ain't getting this.
No,
man.
but this
You
is,
could have
this
told
is
me this on a
interesting.
30-minute live. You could have just said it all. Completely unnecessary.
Yeah, this is interesting. This is interesting. I do believe it. I believe it all.
There's so
Wesley
much
Snipes
meat in
comment.
here though that I would have led with over they didn't like me because I was gay. It's so flimsy, and there's nothing really empirical that you can put forth to make people believe that, especially in the state that Marvel and Disney are right now, where that just runs counter to what everybody's idea of them and what they support for obvious reasons, right? Because they posture so heavily towards supporting it when that may not even actually be what they believe in. But the workers' rights stuff, man, the overt racism it seems to be going on there, the borderline sexual assault that happened at a Marvel function from a Marvel employee, that shit is so much stronger than, oh, I was gay and they didn't like me. Yo, fam, you would have done yourself so much more. You would have gained so much more if you'd have taken this to ABC. If you'd have been like, hey, George Stephanopoulos, let's sit down for 30 minutes. Hey, Dana Bash at CNN, you want to talk? Let's talk. Well, CNN probably wouldn't have took it. They're oh no, that's not is that a Disney company? I don't think so. I don't think
ABC
CNN
is the Disney company.
What is it?
ABC.
ABC is the Disney. Yeah, so probably not Stephanopoulos, but CNN would have taken them. Shit, anybody would have taken them. That's not a Disney company. It just would have been a lot more effective. Don't capitalize on the money part now, right? Like if you keep engaging in this legal battle with Disney, somebody's going to be paying you 20, 30, 40 racks at a time to sit down and have these conversations in front of millions of people, right? Because you're in a legal battle with Disney. Why try to cash in on OnlyFans money right now?
DeMayo says that the last straw for him was when he arrived at the production offices of Blade in Atlanta
Subscribers.
and was told that someone needed to crap the whip around here. He alleged that on September 2022, he sent his concerns about what he saw as prejudicial conditions on the film to leadership at Marvel. In return, I was removed from the project in the middle of moving to Atlanta for production, and then had my role on season 2 of X-Men 97 aggressively marginalized. So the more he speaks, reduced. The more he talks and the more he gives people at Marvel reason to change, the less favorable he becomes. And now his season 2 role is marginalized. He's too difficult to work with. DeMayo says he has the receipts and eyewitnesses to back up his claims, and rather than dump them on the internet, he would prefer to relay them to the authorities at Marvel and Disney so that those responsible are able to receive what I was not, a full and fair investigation away from the public eye. All right, sure. Yeah, they're not going to get it.
That's more of a due process thing. Like, let me just say that I sent them all of this and gave them an opportunity to investigate it fairly.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Tony Robinson.
Okay, well, his OnlyFans is not popping. He's so maybe that's why he's charging. Maybe he needs the money. He's charging obviously the $9.99. He's got 4 posts on here, and the posts all have no more than 78 likes.
So 78 people at least are paying $10. So $780.
Yes. Yeah. There you go.
Just to make it less viral and doesn't have the capacity.
This is the bio in his OnlyFans. Join me as why is this happening on OnlyFans? Join me as we discuss my work on X-Men 97 and other hit series with behind the scenes content into what it's like to be out and proud, queer, Black, and an artist in Hollywood. But why on OnlyFans? Like, why are we joining you on an X-Men? I will never, brother, join you on an X-Men journey on OnlyFans. I'm not. I'm not that brother. I want to know about the behind the scenes stuff at X-Men 97. I want to know the creative shit. But if I got to come to OnlyFans to do it, I'm out.
If he says YouTube channel membership, does that change things?
No, because no, sorry. I'm not at a place where I'm about to pay. Let me put it this way, because I'm not at a place where I am. The only person I'm subscribed to like that I do pay for, because I do pay for one, and it's Josh. Josh is the only person I'm subscribed to that I'm like in the Diamond Lounge and all that.
Oh,
shit.
shout out Denim Nerds, right? Yeah,
yes.
I was thinking of Marcus as Josh, but yeah,
no.
Yeah, recasted.
Josh is the only one. Because I'm a fan. I mean, I've been a fan of Josh's before I even started my YouTube channel. I think Josh was one of the kind of inspirations that led me to want to start a YouTube channel. So I am a fan first of Josh's. So yeah, Josh is the only person I'm subscribed to like that, though.
You're not
can't.
Okay.
Nobody else can't do it. Who are you about to say?
No, I'm not doing it. I was close, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to badmouth YouTubers like the Star Wars community has been doing all week long. Is that our next topic right now on the Pantheon?
Sure.
Before we jump into that, because this is kind of actually, yeah, this is kind of the same thing. I just want to get opinions on this. Do you think that the Agatha cast and show are shooting themselves in the foot like Acolyte with the
what are they doing?
With the promotion for the show? Well, the most recent thing that Joe Locke said was that, and which hey, it doesn't bother me that he says whatever. I going to consume the content that I want to consume, but you know how people are. He said that Marvel isn't for straight white men, and I'm like, oh,
yes, Darius. The answer is yes.
like we all knew the show was gonna suck, right? Like we all knew the show was gonna suck. It's gonna be doing a whole bunch of stuff that nobody gives a shit about. Like that was already an uphill battle. Why do they keep thinking? Why do they keep doing this, man? He not friends with Rachel Ziegler. You not friends with her. You didn't have a conversation with Rachel Ziegler when you got hired on the Marvel, huh? You didn't talk to Brie Larson or not even Brie Larson. Kind of Brie Larson, but not as egregious as Rachel Ziegler. Like I just don't understand it. They walk face into an argument with people that they're asking for money over and over and over and over again. Why? If you didn't want this job, man, there are other things for you to do, I'm sure. There are a few A24 films that would love to have you. You don't have to be a Marvel character. It's not incumbent on you to do this or play this character. But if you do, just know that you are dealing with a fan base that is very particular, that they are studied, well seasoned, and that they want what they want. It just is what it is. Don't ask for their money if you don't want to acquiesce. I don't understand.
I'm sorry. I agree. I really agree. I just feel like, and I like Joe Locke from previous things he's been in outside of, what he's about to do. But I feel like his approach on his press for Agatha has not been the right approach for this show. I don't know if this is what his PR, I don't know if this is what Marvel's telling him to do. I don't know if he's just looking at things he's seen online. I don't even know how privy he was to anything Marvel before his agent said, hey, do you want to play this Wiccan Marvel character? You know, so I don't know, but I think that when I saw he said that, he had already said something before that I thought, oh God. But when he said this one, I was like, well, there goes the Agatha show.
Now, the one thing that'll probably actually come out of this, though, is that we might just actually start up the Mephisto machine again.
Oh, that's starting.
You might actually start up the Mephisto machine again, baby.
That is definitely starting. Phase Zero, is that them over there? They interviewed the showrunner, whoever it is, and I guess in episode 3 there's a certain name that gets dropped, and the name I guess is his, and she was like, is this gonna coincide with some of the things we were speculating in WandaVision? Is that gonna come to play now? And then that's when she was like, oh, you know, WandaVision, Vision Quest, and Agatha are all a trilogy, and blah 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 blah. But, you know, we're supposed to see him in Ironheart, which is a weird place to see him. But we're supposed to see him in Ironheart, and it's supposed to be Sacha Baron Cohen. So my issue with it being Sacha Baron Cohen was what it has been since the beginning. I hope, knowing Marvel in the state that they're currently in, they are not bringing Mephisto in to be comedic.
He coming in that bitch. He gonna be in that bitch acting like Borat.
Oh no!
Hey, I have $1 billion a time, man. You pay with your soul. Pay with your soul.
Yeah.
I don't. Sacha Baron Cohen as Mephisto was never really not a fan of that casting. I just don't know. I am a fan of the Mephisto character, though. I was one of those people that was trying to connect a lot of the Loki Easter eggs to Mephisto appearing. But I am not getting not really getting the jollies from Sacha Baron Cohen. But maybe the teases will spark something. I don't know. We'll see.
And this is, I agree with that. Of course.
Chill, dude. This is Kevin Feige. Thank you, Kevin.
Of course.
Catherine
Of
Hahn will
course.
give a good performance. I mean, she's not a bad actor. She's funny.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Catherine
she's
Hahn
the lead, though. I've never seen a Catherine Hahn project where she was the main character.
I'm going to be honest with you. I think she can lead, and that's just because I think on this show she can lead as Agatha because she plays this character so brilliantly. I loved her in WandaVision. WandaVision is still my favorite thing. One of my favorite things they've done post Endgame. So I loved her in WandaVision. I love Catherine Hahn and almost all of the other projects she's been in. You've got We're the Millers. She's funny as fucking We're the Millers. There's a lot of different projects to Catherine. So nobody's disputing that. I'm disputing the writing. I'm disputing what she's going to have to act on. She can be great all she wants. But if the show is shit, the show is shit.
I'm disputing that it's a trilogy because you made WandaVision for Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, not because of Agatha All Along is coming and Vision Quest is coming next.
Right, yeah, right.
Yeah.
You trying to tell me that Wanda's story is going to culminate in Agatha All Along?
No, it was not a plan all along.
Now, they could break the internet. They have an opportunity. We know what's funny about these shows. There's always an opportunity in the mess to do something or have a viral moment that they just don't take for reasons. Like, we never really know, for plans down the road that haven't materialized or whatever. They have stopped taking big swings, right? And there was an opportunity there in, excuse me, I should say there is an opportunity in Agatha for them to have a viral moment and get Brie Olsen, Elizabeth Olsen back in the fold in that show and kind of have like a Luke Skywalker moment. And Wanda returns. Will they do that? Probably not. But yeah, it's an opportunity. It's there. A lot of opportunities like that throughout their shows where they could have had a viral character show up or do something of consequence. She-Hulk comes to mind. Like Bruce Banner just sits there, gets yelled at, disappears, pops back up with the sun. What are we doing?
Supposed to see something with Elizabeth Olsen in the way of flashbacks. Now, as far as like her coming in to the show, she's not rumored to actually show up in this little trilogy until Vision Quest. But
her name is in the trailer.
It is. But yeah, no, that was just my question. I just thought that, with the show that already not, piquing most interest, because I don't hear anything about it, no one's talking about it outside of Marvel doing the promotion that I'm seeing. No one is actively on. That's always my go-to. No one is actively online talking about, hey, few days till Agatha. When does it even come out? It's this month, right? Or is it
September
is it
18th.
Halloween? September 18th?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. See, I don't. So no one's actively like looking for Agatha. If I have time to watch Agatha, I'll catch Agatha. If I don't have time to catch Agatha, then I'll see it when I see it. But Agatha's not one on my list anymore as it was that I have to really, really see. Those trailers haven't done for me. The clips they've put out haven't done it for me.
Nothing.
Yeah, there's nothing that has been like, man, I got to check out Agatha.
And knowing that we have the actors like this who are going to antagonize white men, good luck with this show. And you're just putting up the shield, the barrier of, you see, we were being attacked because our cast is so diverse,
And
So
I'm sorry,
that's why.
I don't want to put like a thing on, like I'm always one saying, like, watch it first before you go judging things like that. But I'm just going off of things that Joe Locke has been saying in his interviews. I don't even think his Billy is going to be the Billy that most of us are wanting Billy to come in the MCU and be. His Billy, I think, is going to be very different. And on top of his Billy being very different, just things that he has said about his Billy.
When I saw
that ain't the
how
demiurge.
Say again one time.
I said that's definitely not the demiurge. He's definitely, that's Billy is the demiurge. He is the bridge between it all. Billy's a very, very strong character, yeah.
Okay. I forget my point, but just don't antagonize white men. Twisters made a lot of money. It's rural America loves that. Let's check it out. It's a tornado in the sky. And they like to enjoy Glenn Powell. That's what they did. They paid money to see that. There was no messaging in it, and they're fine with it. Look at Dwayne Johnson. He endorsed Kamala and Joe like the last election. All of a sudden, Black Adam wasn't making the money it was supposed to make because of Dwayne Johnson. They hold grudges. Some of those white men with, you've seen the map of these, of the election. Never mind. I'm getting too political. Let's not do that. Let's get to Star Wars. No politics. So Star Wars. All right. Here's the thing, guys. On September 4th, around like 10 o'clock, a YouTuber put out this like compilation video. And it was showing how people who hated the Acolyte, but also showing how they crossed the line and all these examples of how these are uninclusive people, bigoted people, hateful people. That was the message. Then comes Molly from the channel Star Wars Explained. She posts a whole big letter. Hey, Lucasfilm, you got to stop. And it was 2 pages. Did you two read exactly all the words of the letter? Do you know it exists?
I don't fuck with Star Wars Explained. I'm not a fan of them. I don't fuck with them.
All right. Here's the letter, though. I'm not sharing it. My bad. So in the letter, it's just, dear team YouTube.
Are they pro Acolyte? Are they want it back on or no?
Not only are they pro Acolyte, they were invited for a special screening of the Acolyte.
Oh my God! They're Lucasfilm special little darling.
So they're getting checks. Okay.
Yeah, they're getting invitation, early access. They have a good relationship. You can hear Molly say that in one of her videos. And she's launching this campaign. Team YouTube, you guys got to take them down. Every other little Star Wars channel also did the same thing, where they posted this long diatribe. Hey, Star Wars, look, they're just like the Ghostbusters guys. Ryan Kinnell, Nerdrotic, Geeks and Gamers. Those are the 3 that they mentioned. And then they have one little mention at the bottom here where they say Star Wars Theory. They said, the hate campaign against Amandla has been so profitable that other major YouTubers have joined the attacks on Amandla, including Star Wars Theory. How many more good faith content creators will turn to profitable hate campaigns if this behavior is permitted to continue with no repercussions? So in a way, they're calling.
They just tried to throw in the good faith part, like, oh, we know that his message is very calculated. It's empirical things that he's saying. It really can't be disproven. So we have to slap on the title of good faith because he's so precise in his criticisms, right? Like, why even? Oh man.
Don't
I'm,
make me be on the side of RK Outpost and some of these other YouTubers.
yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. Really didn't give a whole lot of shit about the first three names that she mentioned. I just couldn't find myself to be upset. I did take exception with her mentioning Star Wars Theory because I don't think he's in that same level of criticism. I think the minute Amanda Steinberg was announced as the leader of the Acolyte, then that gave those first three their marching orders on the next 3 to 6 months of their content and thumbnails, right? I don't think that about Star Wars Theory. I think that he actually wanted that show to be good. I don't think that about the first three people, right? I think Star Wars Theory, I think he broke down the Acolyte from the standpoint of a Star Wars fan that was disappointed from what he was seeing. And I don't think you should be lumping people into your vitriol campaign, which is, see, this was my argument for her being allowed to do this against Nerdotic and those guys, right?
Okay.
Is because if they are allowed to drum up or farm hate, right, and then release that into the ether to do whatever it does, she's well entitled to do the same thing, right? My the issue that I'm taking is, why are you now spreading that out even to people who you admittedly are of good faith? Why are you sending the mob to the people again that you are identifying or doing it in good faith? So now you're naked. You're blatant, because now even people who criticize Disney in good faith are to be attacked. Right? Even people who have reasonable criticisms of this studio in your eyes deserve to be attacked. So nobody's really clean in this situation at all. I just think maybe we identified a character we didn't need to.
I agree. Yeah. No, theory standpoint has always been from a Star Wars fan standpoint first. I mean, there's a reason he is the biggest Star Wars channel on YouTube, period. And, you know, when you go back to the tears that the real tears he gave, as that's a fan seeing, you know, his childhood hero on screen and then getting mocked by the studio themselves. Theory standpoint is like I said, it's a fan first. So he's not out here trying to make money off of Amandla. I saw that video. He was literally just replying to the bullshit that Amandla was putting out in that video. That's all.
No, he attacks. No, the hate campaign against Amanda is so profitable. Other major YouTubers have joined the attacks on Amandla.
Yeah, that's something that's what I was gonna say too before Marcus before Marcus went. We got to stop with this. Now there are some people that are out there attacking Amandla. There are. I mean, that's real. But we have to stop with this whole the Acolyte was canceled because of all. I think we've already said all this. You know, every time we talk about the Acolyte, that's just not what it is. It's not.
That's why all of this is fair game, because we don't have that influence. I wish we could move those studios like this. Like we wish we had that type of influence. But again, it's fair game because at the end of the day, we don't really have the power to change that.
No, and you know, I know some of these people. Like a lot of stuff online, a lot of the people that join in these arguments are fake outrage. They aren't really Star Wars fans. I mean, again, I've seen so many people on Twitter talking about Star Wars or talking about the Acolyte that I'm sure if you sat down and tried to have a conversation with them outside of R2-D2, C-3PO, Luke Skywalker, the basic shit, they cannot hold a conversation with you about Star Wars. So this fake outrage about a show, about a time period, about characters that lead into the further lore of Star Wars that you probably don't even give a flying shit about. It's fake outrage. Like, stop this. I'm upset about that. If we, as the Lucasfilm, fandom, Star Wars fan that have been here this long, if we had the power to dictate what Lucasfilm does, do you know what projects we would have as fans? Damn sure wouldn't have been the Acolyte first. We would have, man. So I'm just, stop it. And one of the other things I saw too, and I do want to say this about Theory. One of the videos I did watch, and this has to stop with everybody. Them talking about Star Wars fans. We've never had a problem with black leads. We've never had
We never had black leads.
Never had a black lead. Never had to contend with one.
This is what Theory said. This is where I think him as a 3, and he's never going to get it. He's not no offense, Jill. He's white and Canadian. He's not ever going to get that standpoint that I'm about to come from it with. When he was saying we've never complained about those things. Because look, we've got Samuel Jackson, who's second in command of the Jedi Council. Sam Jackson does nothing in episode 1 but sit there and
he's in the movie for like 10 minutes total.
Yeah. Episode 2, he does have the cool ass fight scene. The cool ass fight scene, and episode 2,
he kills Jabba the Hutt.
Jango Fett.
Jango Fett.
Yeah, kill Fett, and then you have the thing in episode 3. But there's no. Then he said Billy D. Brought Billy D and what you got in Empire and everything like that. But there is, and then he of course he brought up Rosario Dawson, but again she's orange within Star Wars. So there is no black leads in Star Wars. There are there are black characters, but these characters don't have these arcs and stories that these white characters have. They just don't.
There's a bit of dissonance around that. Yeah, there's a bit of dissonance. And again, like Chillmonger said, Amandala and the people like that make it easy for them to make that argument because they land-based, right?
Yep.
They don't give respect to the Star Wars fans that wanted to see them succeed. They don't pay homage to the Star Wars fans that were making criticisms in hopes of making the show better if it were to come back in the future. No, they wanted to say anybody who had anything bad to say about this show is a racist, right? Which puts me in a weird spot. Where does that leave me? Because I criticize the show relentlessly, and I don't fit that mold, right? And so she makes it very easy for the people who are not on her side to win the argument because now everybody is a racist. But the dissonance comes from where they act like, oh, well, when was Star Wars ever toxic? Like, when was Star Wars ever racist? Like, when was, okay, now don't do that to me. Don't piss on me and call it rain. Now let's not act like there hasn't ever been a problem with racism or certain characters getting drug into racist tropes by the fandom. Jar Jar Binks. Like, let's I mean, we don't even have to start talking about it being a black thing. Look what they did to Hayden Christensen.
Right.
So it's
man.
Let's not pretend that there isn't a level of toxicity here that has to be grappled with. I just think that there's a more intelligent way to go about it. Right? There's a way to kind of appease the crowd in a way. And they're not even trying. It's like this, we have Star Wars now. We're at the helm. This is what Star Wars is. Get on or get left at the station.
When you have the amount of access that you have, Molly, there's no reason why you shouldn't be the top Star Wars YouTube channel. Listen to the way that they talk about their trip to Lucasfilm's premiere.
We were invited to go take a tour of the Lucasfilm building and like the entire Disney lot in Burbank. And they told us that not very many people get to go into that Lucasfilm office. People can do tours of the San Francisco office, but this one is like kept a little more secret. So it was super special.
It was still pretty secretive. There was a moment where I had left my bag in a room, and I was like, oh, I forgot it. And I just kind of like jogged off to go get my bag, and people were like, where's he going? What's he doing? Like,
they're going to
just
talk
got a couple
about
questions.
Real quick, I got to kick in all the doors and look, and they surprised us with a screening.
Oh my god!
Wait, that's your girl, Marcus. That's your girl. You can't recast the child. What was her name? Nikki. What was her name?
Oh my god, man! They make this shit too easy.
So you can
they
see
make this shit too easy.
And we know the content creators. We've seen them around. I think Eric Voss is one of them. But anyways, shout out to her. You don't want
her.
Shuri. How's that going for you, everyone? Child.
Oh my god! Of course she's at the fucking Acolyte screening.
She's
They
one of
just
those.
use the same people to push bullshit ass narrative. I will never believe an internet campaign ever again. Recast T'Challa is the last organic, true grassroots internet campaign I will ever believe in. These people are actors. They're trying to break into Hollywood. This is hilarious.
And,
Since when is she
they
even a
surprised
Star
us
Wars
with a
fan? Where did that come from?
That's what I'm saying. None of these people are.
Since when has Nick Marina been a Star Wars fan? She has literally never talked Star Wars. You know what? Whatever. It
You
ain't
don't watch her enough to know that.
Yeah, I don't.
of
You
the
right.
first
You're
episode of
right.
The
You're right.
Acolyte.
That was really, really cool. Got to talk to a lot of like admin folks at Lucasfilm that we kind of had been talking to online a little bit, but it was nice to put names to faces. So it was great meeting them. A couple of them were like, "We love Pippin," and I was like, "Ah."
That was, yeah.
So as you can see, he's not here today because he
In my lap.
It's true.
I'll be covered in scratches. But yeah, that's apparently the key.
Yeah.
Is just get Pippin in here.
So we got to see the very first episode of The Acolyte. And this was 2 days before the premiere.
Yes.
And so Leslie Headland herself came into the room
Lord
and
have mercy.
introduced
Look how
herself. And we
empty.
were like, oh my God. And said that you guys are going to be some of the very first people to see the episode.
So clearly they've got access. That's just the point of what I'm trying to say here. They're gonna meet up with of course the ad plays, but they're gonna meet up with Dave Filoni and they get like a round table and they do all this. If you guys have that amount of access and these other YouTube channels are kicking your ass, step it up. I did a members only stream where I went even harder and I actually I don't like to besmirch other YouTubers. That's not my thing, but I did today. You can pay $1 to hear me, a Canadian dollar, Darius.
All right, Beau.
You can pay $1 to hear me to go harder, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you guys can use your connections and make sure that this positive YouTube community that you're so fond of happens, because you're killing it and they're not. Like, they're all in the same room, all those guys. What did we do? We didn't know each other before Recast T'Challa. I think I knew Marcus through a perp actually, but Darius reached out to me and we all kind of found each other, and Recast T'Challa has a little community and we make things trend like we did last week. They can do the same thing with Star Wars and they've got bigger numbers, but they're choosing not to. They're choosing to complain because that guy makes so much more money than me. And that is exactly what it is. They're pocket watching Star Wars Theory, mad at him. And then, of course,
a Star Wars Explained Star Wars Theory joint stream would break the internet. It would, like, they'd have what, 5,000-10,000 people in there watching that stream easily.
Yeah,
would be that if both of their fans, but then like D Sizzle was talking about in the comments there was the long brewed rumored beef between the two channels, so there would be that audience as well. That's like, what the fuck?
It would literally break the internet. But again, and I think you would both admit that there are people of our size that probably think this way. But I think the larger you get, the kind of the less benefit you probably see in collaborating, or at least that's the way the trend seems to make it seem. Right? Like, I don't really see YouTubers 100K and up squatting up on a regular basis. You know,
now, Josh and Theory used to. They used to do Nerd Theory every Thursday or whatever. They don't do that anymore. But no, they don't. Even Theory at one point used to do the multi-stream. Like, if you were a smaller channel, he would give you an opportunity. He would have like maybe 12 or so different other channels in there. And, it would just give you, it was all Star Wars based. It would give you a chance to kind of just promote your channel. Nice. Stop doing that.
Some of those people he's invited have talked bad about him since.
Yes.
Really? Yeah.
One of them he actually brought on and did a live stream with and said, because did you see that one? The dude he brought on badmouthed him during the stream. Yeah. I forgot the name of their
On
channel.
some what, like Lucasfilm shill shit? Like, oh, how dare
No.
you
His
criticize?
problem was you say to Star Wars Theory definitively says something's bad, and you're supposed to say it's bad in my opinion because you're such a huge channel. You have a responsibility to be more clearer, and I didn't really jive with it, but all right.
Yeah,
He interrupted the whole flow of the conversation.
Yeah, I guess. The thing, I think there is an objective quality that we can all agree to, right? Like we can all recognize when something is objectively bad. So if that exists, then objectively good exists as well. People don't like to admit it, right? Because it helps them fall within the margins of good or bad, and they don't have to be bad. But there is a quintessential good and bad. People just don't like to hammer it home because they don't fall in between or follow what they want to be.
To Puma Lee, say it again, recast T'Challa Senior. And then up there, you also said recast T'Challa. I don't want to say the words recast T'Challa Senior. I'd rather just keep it recast T'Challa. If you say Senior, then it's recognizing the T'Challa-ness of the Junior. And I don't want to ever think of Junior coming to mind. And saying Senior makes me think of T'Challa Junior, TJ, T'Child come to mind.
T'Challa Junior.
The Junior, it doesn't count. He is not T'Challa. There's no amount of aging he can do to make him T'Challa. I reject him wholeheartedly. And giving him airtime right now, I think, is against it. It's antithetical, as Marcus would say, to the message.
Do what Puma Lee says.
And yeah, do that. Hit the like button for sure. His name is Toussaint. That's right. I also think that T'Chaka is one letter away. If you look at the keyboard from T'Challa, the K and the L are right there. Sometimes you'll be saying, I want the son of T'Chaka back, but somebody will be thinking about the kid. There's better ways to differentiate. Like the way the human brain works, we look at the letter T, we see the letters in between, and we see that it ends with the letter A, and we may just think, yeah, the son of T'Challa. Yeah, the son of T'Challa. So there's other ways to differentiate who you're talking about. I'm worrisome about how many people read Son of T'Chaka or recast T'Challa Senior and they thought about the kid, even though that's not the intention. Next topic. We're off of Star Wars, right, Darius? You don't want anything else to say about Star Wars Explained? Molly? No. I hope that they don't go, they're against us. You know, I'm against your tactic. You could be representing Star Wars so much more better with your access, with your like positivity stuff, and you know it would help if the Star Wars shows were good too. Where are we at now? Josh Brolin as Hal Jordan.
Yeah, I think that's the last thing.
All right.
Was that it?
Okay. So earlier this week, we get these rumors that Josh Brolin, a 56-year-old actor, was offered the role of Green Lantern Hal Jordan in the brand new show, Lanterns. That show is supposed to be shooting early 2025. So, you know, good to see that the ball is rolling, obviously. A lot of positivity here. Hal Jordan is going to be played by somebody who's got options. He's not going to be paid $350K the way Angela Bassett was. Josh Brolin's going to get paid a little bit more. Whatever they're offering him, it's going to be worth it. Some people don't like the Hal Jordan casting. I don't really care about who it is. I'm looking at the age range that they're going for because it's clear that there's going to be a mentor Green Lantern and then there's going to be the Jon Stewart Green Lantern who they're going to be riding with. That's my takeaway from it. We'll get to there in a second, but let's stick on the Hal Jordan of it. What do you think about Josh Brolin, Marcus?
I mean, he's a good actor. I'm not really a fan of him as a person, but he's a good actor. I think he could do the role. But that happened, that came out on Sunday, right? When we were doing the live stream on Sunday, I also saw a leak that suggested that Jon Stewart was still going to be the lead of the series. Right before I saw the post about Josh Brolin coming in, I did get a little nervous when I saw the Josh Brolin name because of the aura around it, right? Like you really got to be careful with something like that, especially if you're trying to establish a kind of like a buddy cop, older hardened, wise mentor figure with a younger buck, kind of like a Tommy Lee Jones, Will Smith, Men in Black feel, right? It takes a special type of chemistry to make sure that either one doesn't drown each other's stardom out, right? And no one kind of stands out on the other way. Otherwise, it doesn't work. The chemistry doesn't really work well. If they're gonna go Brolin, then they have to go as hard in the other direction for Jon Stewart as possible to balance it out. Otherwise, Hal Jordan ends up leading the show, and I don't think it's successful. I would suggest Damson Idris. That's my guess. Because you can kill two birds with one stone with that. Not only do you get a killer young actor in Hollywood to play Jon Stewart,
you take him away from Marvel.
Yes, you snatch him away from Marvel. That would be beautiful.
No, I want him in Marvel. I want him as the child.
I do too, but they've been dragging their feet. Like, how long are you going to wait to get him in there? So, you know,
the rumor is they want.
Thing ever.
Rumor is they want Aldous.
Oh, is that from your source, Darius?
No.
Oh, yeah.
No, that is from.
Can we have some bagel? Who's that from?
Is it Jeff? Jeff? Did Jeff say that? I think it was either Jeff Snyder. They were talking about it on the comicbook.com article. Yeah, the word on the street is they want Aldous Hodges though.
You can't go wrong, bro. I just want to
I wouldn't mind that. I would say probably a little younger. Aldous Hodges, he's getting up there, man. He got that grown man weathered weight on him. You know what I mean? Look like he had a couple kids. But no, Aldous Hodges is fine. Man, they really trying to bury that Black Adam movie, man. They're trying to put that thing underneath the building. Hey, do you notice how when Ryan Reynolds has his film in the MCU and he created that cut scene and posted it of Gambit and the spin circle coming up like maybe he was coming into the 616, and then he was talking about give Wesley Snipes his flowers and give him a Logan like send off. He was like, we should have Hugh Jackman be the Wolverine in the MCU. You see how he came into the MCU with his movie under his production company with his director and start suggesting changes within Marvel, and nobody lost their shit. Nobody's writing it as if he's trying to take over the company
difficult to work with or anything like that. Nobody's trying to run him out the back door. Isn't that funny? They didn't do it when Favreau did it at Lucasfilm. They're not doing it now when Ryan Reynolds is doing it in the MCU. But when Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson attempted to do it at Warner Brothers, oh my goodness, the hostile takeover of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. When Mahershala Ali has standards for a movie and how many fight scenes.
My God, he is a terror to work with.
You got to defend that one, Kevin. Kevin, I know you're still in here, Kevin. Did you see what he said earlier? He said James Gunn is going to stay conservative just to please the fans. Man, there's nothing wrong with what DC is doing, Kevin. Relax.
I don't consider a buddy cop with Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart to be necessarily conservative. I feel like there may be some butthurt parties in there, but I wouldn't call it conservative.
This is what they said. They said Black Adam's Aldous Hodges, who portrayed Hawkman, had voiced Stewart in an animated production and is in the market to make the crossover into live action. Hodges talked about it, saying, "I would love to live out the rest of the legacy of Hawkman because he had amazing plans for him." But also with Jon Stewart in the live action capacity, sorry, there's something covering it, so I can't really see the rest of that. Jon Stewart in the animated space for years now. I think he said I portrayed Jon Stewart in the animated space for years now. A few years, something. Anyway, he's just saying that I would like to cross over into the live action role with this.
If he plays Jon Stewart and he's the guy that they go for the next 10, 15 years, however deep this universe is going to go, right? We all know about chapter 1. We don't know if there's going to be chapter 10. We don't know how long they'll go. It feels like the premier character, black character in DC will be the Jon Stewart Green Lantern. He won't have the Hal Jordan, thing to compete with because it feels like Hal Jordan's old and he'll probably die on episode 8 of this series.
Is Ryan Reynolds more likable than The Rock?
I think so.
Is he?
I'd say so.
I feel like they both give me that like cookie cutter store bought feel, like they're standard their standard character for everybody is always on. I feel like they're both very commercial. I can get that level of fakeness from both. I don't get any extra level of authenticity from Ryan Reynolds than I do from The Rock.
Really? I feel like Ryan. I feel like you don't feel like that's who Ryan is off camera.
I feel like Ryan is Deadpool in just about every movie he's been in. Side of like Safe House,
The Proposal.
that one movie where he's like raising his daughter without her mom, and he's like telling the story of how they met, and you know, a few others. But every other movie, he's basically just been Deadpool. He was Deadpool and Van Wilder
and Free Guy.
and Free Guy. Yeah, he's just Deadpool. So if that's real Ryan Reynolds, then holy shit, how do you get down with that?
James Gunn is 58.
I'm sorry. I think he's saying the reason everybody was saying like, oh, the hostile takeover with The Rock is just more that saying like, oh, Ryan's coming in saying the things he's saying is more is not getting that slack because people like Ryan more.
Yeah, I mean, that may be all well and good. I'm just saying I didn't necessarily think that he was doing anything that was out of the ordinary with his production company at Warner Brothers. There was a power vacuum. There was nobody there riding the ship. Walter Hamada was long gone. He wasn't really running the show anymore. So it was like, well, I mean, if ain't nobody going to drive this boat, I'll come in here with my characters and we'll make it do what it do. But how is that dissimilar to what Favreau did at Lucasfilm? There was a power vacuum. Things weren't going well. He had a relationship. He got a job.
There were also rumors, from Jeff Snyder and some others that the coup Dwayne was staging a coup behind.
I don't want to hear that shit, bro. Because again, if somehow Ryan Reynolds, because of the success of Deadpool, and if they continue on with Hugh Jackman's Wolverine or whoever else that he reintroduced into the MCU, gets him some sort of position at Marvel, do you think there's going to be any leaks, any Jeff Snyder reports about how Ryan Reynolds snaked his way to that position?
Oh God, no. Of course not.
Absolutely not. So I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear that.
It's Marvel Jesus.
The DC Jesus. Let me not say that. Blasphemy.
Yeah.
The DC head creator is James Gunn.
Yeah.
And he has elected with his power to make Jon Stewart the Green Lantern. That's who's going to be the star. That's what it feels like for the next few years. I hope a movie comes out of it. I hope we get this awesome representation where Jon Stewart is the lead. When this 58-year-old becomes a 78-year-old 20 years from now, he will no longer be the president of this company. He'll be in retirement. There will be somebody else in charge. That person will look at the film universe that James Gunn would have ended by then and go, we need to restart. We need to reboot it. We're going to have a brand new Superman, Batman, Green Lantern, everything. And he's going to say, I want to do Green Lantern, but I don't want to do it like James did. I'm going to do it with Hal Jordan, right, as a 30-year-old, and that's what we're going to do. And all of that great representation with Jon Stewart, Green Lantern, gone. That is the inevitability that this character represents. It's hard for me to support him. It's happy and positive as these next 20 years are going to be, and he can get a film trilogy. I'm going to go, yeah, but this is going to run out.
I'll do you one better. So that mean if in that scenario we would have had Jon Stewart for like 10 to 20 years, right?
Yeah, which would be great in the 10 to 20 years.
And that okay, cool. Do you one better. So how about we take Jon Stewart's representation and we times it by 100. But the catch is, instead of having him for 10 years, we have him, let's see, 2019, 2020, 21, 22. For 4 years. And then he's never seen on a live action screen again.
Yeah, if I could fast forward and get Jon Stewart out of there, because what he represents is we're already doing a black movie. We got Jon Stewart. No static. We already got a black movie. No icon. We already got a black movie. No vixen. We already got a black person in the lead. And yeah, so if we can get him out of there in 4 years, sure.
Well, no. I think you missed where I was going with that.
Oh, yeah, I missed it.
A character who's infinitely more popular and has stronger representation than Jon Stewart and T'Challa was only there from 2018 till when they shot the second movie in 2020, or when they released the second movie in 2022. Right? So that jeopardy of not being there on the next reboot, such is the nature of all Black characters and large IPs like this. I don't think it's dissimilar to any character, be it Storm, be it T'Challa, be it, I mean, those are the two most popular superhero characters to be named. So if they're not exempt from being brushed out of a universe upon a reboot, which they're not, hell, it didn't even take a reboot to get Black Panther out of here, then there's really nothing that's going to keep a Black character safe outside of them leading the franchise.
Yeah,
I mean,
but at least
being
this,
like WB or Marvel. You know?
yeah, but at least the circumstances that got T'Challa out of there were like they could hide behind it. You know, the actor died, and
Right.
it is what it is. It's
Right.
gonna be hard for me to see Storm not be prominent in the X-Men. You know, for her not to be a top 5 X-Men character, maybe the 6th best X-Men character. Yeah, you're right. You're right to call out how they'll do whatever trick they can to minimize the representation. They will, but it's more obvious when they do it. I don't know. There's more obvious ways that they'll do it, and I'm gonna call out the very obvious thing that they'll do with Jon Stewart.
I think the only chance Jon Stewart has is to continue to take that whatever years he gets with James Gunn at the helm.
Yeah.
To continue to deepen that divide between how popular Hal and Guy Gardner are and compare. There's already a divide there. I've long had this argument. I think Jon Stewart is the most popular Lantern.
No.
I wholeheartedly believe that. I think the fact of where James Gunn is taking this proves that, but we won't have that argument here tonight. That's not what we're talking about.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. I'm curious. Who's the most popular Lantern?
Hal Jordan is. After the Justice League boosted, what's the best thing that Jon Stewart's ever done? His best appearance was in the cartoon, and that ended in 2003 or 2004.
Yeah, but Hal Jordan's film appearance was the worst until the Flash movie or until the Marvels. It was the worst.
The quality of the film.
I'm not even saying that because the brother's Black. I'm saying he is the more liked Lantern. He is the more popular Lantern. Hal Jordan may have more appearances than Jon Stewart, but when it comes to when it comes to those who, I think that if you had to really do a real poll, I think it would be Jon Stewart.
How do we do a real poll?
I don't know on that one.
Let me ask you this, too. If they were going to make a solo Lantern series, so like there's only one Lantern on Earth right now for some reason, and they chose one, which show would be more popular? You think Hal Jordan's show would be more popular than a solo show with Jon Stewart?
Before I answer your question, they did do that. They did choose to do solo Green Lantern. The star of it, what was called Green Lantern, that was the name of the TV show. It was animated. It was after 2005.
No, I'm talking live action. I'm specifically talking live action.
What do you think? They did that too because of the Ryan Reynolds movie. They did that too.
Fuck that movie, bro. I'm saying here in 2024. I don't know why I had to look at the calendar. Who's gonna have the more popular live action series? Hal Jordan or Jon Stewart?
Hal Jordan, especially with the 17-year gap between his last appearance in Justice League Unlimited and Beware the Power, which was also featured Hal Jordan. This character, Jon Stewart, did not make any advances. You're using nostalgia and your memories.
Diesel says if you never picked up a Green Lantern comic, then you wouldn't understand Jon Stewart's importance to the Green Lantern mythos.
Green Lantern comics sell better with Hal Jordan than they do with Jon Stewart.
Yeah. I'll
say this though. Well, okay, if we're talking sales, toy sales, John sells more. You look at McFarlane. McFarlane when it comes to the lanterns that they've made. They have made more Jon Stewart lanterns than they've made Hal because John sells better. Even in the newest wave, they just had a Jon Stewart come out and they just made another Jon Stewart. He's just got his hair.
Hal Jordan ever popular enough to sell a toy?
When they chose him to make him for the TV show, and when they chose him to make him for the movie, and when they chose him for the New 52 reboot.
None of those projects were popular enough for people to say, "Mommy, take me out to the store and get me the Hal Jordan toy."
So you're telling me, so the poor performances of Hal Jordan throughout this 17-year drought that I'm talking about, the poor performances that Hal Jordan brought disqualify him from a second chance. This is insanity.
No. I'm not saying it disqualifies
I like
him.
Hal.
I'm just saying there seems to be more positive traction at this moment in 2024 for Jon Stewart than Hal Jordan at this moment.
I don't see the positive. I don't see what got this positive traction going. The toy sales. What's the positive? What's the beginning of the
sales? The animated series, Justice League Unlimited. I think those.
That was years ago. Why are you skip? Okay,
but that's what's present for Green Lantern.
Things,
what else is recent?
Cool.
What else?
Not
is
just that.
He's
on. He's in Young Justice as well. He's in Young Justice as well, and not only that, he's in some of the animated DC films. He's got his own animated DC film that recently came out. Hal. It doesn't matter. He's the lead.
Well, let me see. Let me see what Hal gets. Hal gets things where he leads, and there's no mention of Jon Stewart. I'm just saying, Hal Jordan is the primary character of the franchise, and they will revert to him after this casting, after the successful outing James Gunn's going to do. He's going to make all these.
He's lost it, bro. I really didn't want to have this argument. We was talking about the show, but now that we're here, I don't think that he is the quintessential lead of it. Like, that is probably a best example of what can happen to a franchise when you play hot potato with the mantle like that, because then it just becomes, well, I'm going to pick my favorite, not I'm going to pick the first, or I'm going to pick the one of the most importance. I think that's what happened with Green Lantern. I honestly believe Jon Stewart is a more popular character today in 2024 than Hal Jordan. Nobody's checking for Hal.
And that's great. And that's why Jon Stewart is in the spotlight for this TV show. He'll be the lead of it. Sure. And Hal will support him. Then there'll be a movie. And then in the Justice League movie, the Green Lantern representative on the team will be Jon Stewart. And this will be a great, fruitful few years. And I'm telling you right now, that Jon Stewart character that they have, there's going to be, let's do another Green Lantern, let's switch things up. Instead of Wally West, let's do Barry Allen. And instead of I
just don't think there's anything they can do to change that. Like, even if it was Icon that they were making the show about, that would not guarantee that Icon's going to get made again upon the reboot when somebody else is running the studio.
So just like Blade, you would think that Wesley Snipes' Blade, would guarantee that this is a profitable character worthy of continuing, and Mahershala Ali's move.
You would think.
Yeah. So like the skepticism that you have to the studios' desire to uplift an actual black character. I'm there with the skepticism for sure, and I already see the exit strategy for this Jon Stewart character. No matter how hot he gets, and you know what sucks? We gotta wait 2 decades for that to happen for us to revisit this. So,
well, I mean, but now we're not with those 2 decades. Now we still have that. If that ends up happening, that's shit. Who gets 20 years of constant production as a black character? That's damn near unheard of.
It's something.
So if you were actually able to get that time isn't, like you say, that's something. That's not anything.
But what does it keep away? It allows the studios, Warner Brothers in this case,
if he's the only right, if he ends up being the token of the whole DC situation, then does he end up doing more harm than good? That's certainly an argument.
It's my argument. That is my argument, Marcus.
But again, we're assuming a lot in that. We're saying there's 20 years with a whole lot. We don't even know if that's what's going to happen with James Gunn. We don't know if this man gonna make it 5
assuming years. that Jon Stewart would be the only black representation. But we've already got Mr. Terrific.
He's not getting a movie though. There's going to be enough supporting characters. I'm not speaking on supporting characters. I mean, the guy who gets the movie, the guy who gets the 180 million, 200 million budget. I think Jon Stewart is going to be that titled character. He's going to be the T'Challa of DC. And every time someone's going to pitch, we should do this black character. Now we're doing enough black. We're representing them enough. And I'm going to be like, 20 years from now, if I'm alive, God,
I just feel like the opportunity for that is so much more plentiful. The opportunity for that is so much more plentiful on the Marvel side, and their kind of like dissonance to it just doesn't make me feel good about it on the other side from their competitor, because it's not forcing them to do it. If Marvel's not doing it, then there's really no reason for DC to do it, because there's no audience that's being ascertained by your competitor. If they're not filling a void where you aren't, then there's really no reason for you to lose your shit and do something different. I don't know, man. I can't pinpoint a whole lot of characters on the DC side that like I would go crazy to see. Mr. Terrific, I would like to see. I would like to see,
because he's already there.
Yeah, Icon, but But beyond that, man, it's slim pickings for me over there. Steel.
Black Panther wasn't that a worldwide
No, you're
phenomenon
right.
either.
You're right. There's potential for lower characters to maybe ascend if they give them that feature film level exposure.
Yeah.
But it's just not a whole lot of name recognition or, canon recognition for me to know whether or not they're staying true to character, whether or not I'm seeing some rehash, some weird version that they've come up with, or if not, this is something that is tied to something in the comics. There's not enough characters for me like that on the DC side.
I use this as an example all the time with DC. Young Justice. They do a brilliant job in 4 seasons of fleshing out
We could do Virgil.
so many characters. Man, so many characters as far as like just their ethnic, like with Blue Beetle, they dive into Jaime's, cultural background, even with, every story, like they touch on everything, like Black Lightning and his relationship with his
now if they want to take us to Milestone, if they want to do the Milestone thing, we can do that.
Dakotaverse.
Let's do the Dakotaverse. Yeah, there you go. We can do the Dakotaverse.
That's dope. That's dope. They could really, if handled correctly, they really could build that entire universe over there. Obviously, it's not a series like Young Justice, it's not animated, but you could build that entire series or entire universe over there and really have it be something special. Word right now is from Daniel RPK, from other people that have seen the stuff for Superman. It's fantastic. It's what they are being told.
Good.
We shall see.
Yeah, I'm amped for it too. I know James Gunn knows how to make a movie, and now with him starting off a universe that makes us Creature Commandos has a bigger spotlight on it for December.
That one sure. I can miss Creatures Commandos. I don't have to see it. It starts for me with Superman.
So will you not watch Creature Commandos until maybe when people start talking about it, you'll be like, all right, let's give it a shot.
Maybe. The Waller series, though, I'm ready for that with Viola Davis.
What is that going to be?
I think Viola, I don't know exactly what it's going to be, but it's just Viola for me. The way she plays Waller, she's great. She's as good as Waller, and I like her as Annalise. I just like the stuff she brings as an actress. Now, what her show is going to be exactly?
Yeah, I was going to say, what the hell is her show going to be about?
I'm not sure what her show is going to be exactly. I'm just expecting a lot of snot from Viola, a lot of ugly faces, and so I'm here for that with her.
Maybe Batman.
Bonnie, wake up, Bonnie, wake up.
Jefferson Pierce, Black Lightning, who I heard is getting a DC comic. I saw Black Comic Lords. I saw Rich.
Shout out to Jefferson Pierce. My God, the only character that can get me to watch DC or CW consistently. Flash couldn't do it. Green Arrow couldn't do it, but Jefferson Pierce and his family could for sure.
Is his family broken in that show?
Nope. They together. It was messed up in the newer seasons of Young Justice. Yeah. They actually made him. They made him be in a relationship with the fucked up doctor that was running the experiments on the girls.
Yes.
They made them get together, which was fucked.
Markovian doctor.
Yeah.
Because I was like, because I'm rewatching it right now. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot his family's fucked up and broken black family.
Yeah, no, the TV show held it down. The TV show held it down for sure.
Okay.
No 3-hour show this week?
No. I tried to sneak a taco on live. I'm gonna fill my belly when we get off of here.
I hope T'Challa returned. That came out of nowhere. We're more than just a T'Challa cast, okay, guys? We talk about DC and everything else in between. Steve Harvey.
Well, with DC, Joker's debuting very poorly.
I saw that. Yeah. Not getting very good reviews.
I kind of predicted this, though, especially when they announced it was going to be...
It was a musical, right? I was like, how is this going to work?
When they said they're not going to do a sequel, and then they got pressured into the sequel because the studio was like, "Hey, it made $1 billion. You're doing a sequel. You got your sequel." It
And
never needed to be a
something.
sequel.
They just made something.
It never needed to be 200 million. The first one was only 55 million.
That extra million came to because you got Gaga.
This is how much it has to make to break even.
No, this was their budget. I'm sure Joaquin Phoenix.
Jesus Christ.
Yep. Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh, you know what it was though? A lot of that was the samples for the songs that they're going to use in the movie. I think they had like 15 songs.
They got 15
from
songs.
some pretty heavy hitter catalogs that they had to pay for to get in this movie. Like Jesus.
And see a point I saw. I'm sorry, Chill. Go ahead.
And Joaquin Phoenix, he didn't sign a 2-picture deal. He signed a 1-picture deal, one and done Joker.
Oh, they had to get him
to get him for the second one. Now they really got to pay.
Yeah. Oh, okay, that's right. I saw a point made on Twitter that I completely agree with. So are we going? Is the Joker going to have? Because this is my favorite comic book villain of all time. I've said that I think a lot. Is he going to have some mastermind plan, or is we're just going to watch him dancing and getting drug off the screen like a lunatic the whole time?
Yeah, lunatic, dancing, madness, chaos.
Because
that's Joker, bro.
Yeah,
that's 2024 Joker.
Miss me, because now the first one, I like the first Joker film. I thought it was good, but this one I don't want to see him dancing, and that's what it's going to be. I mean, I've seen the trailer, and if we are to believe, I'm not going to say it on here because I'm not going to spoil it for anybody. If that rumor that is going around on how this movie ends is true, well,
the way I took it was so the first movie was supposed to be like the introduction to his psychosis, right? It was supposed to be his break. What I was expecting with the second movie was supposed to be his introduction into like his criminal enterprise. Like, what does he want to do now? Like, what is happening? It seems like this movie is picking up squarely where the last movie left off. Oh, by the way, there's another crazy chick, and she's Harley Quinn.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and we're gonna be singing the whole time this time too. I just don't understand where we're going. Like, where how did this all come together?
Yep, I agree. Yeah, no, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was not anticipated. It was not on my most anticipated list at all, and it really isn't now. I can see it on my my website. I ain't got to go see that one in theaters.
That's a home view.
Yep.
I mean, they may get a $5 holla from your boy. They might on a Tuesday.
I don't know. I can't do it.
Tickets are $5 in Columbus on a Tuesday.
6.
That's still nice. That's very good.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody said Aaron Pierce, the dude that voicing.
Oh, he's got a movie coming out tonight, I think. Midnight.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, coming out on Netflix. I am very excited to see that. Think
watch Deliverance on Netflix.
I ain't watching that shit.
I'll tell you what. That third act, I don't know what.
Ain't nobody watching that. You got to talk about it, Darius. We got time to
say this. That third act is some rough shit.
Jesus Christ, man.
That is some rough. That
we
the
doing
first two acts they had me.
Now we casting white people as black characters. That's what we doing. Shame on you, Lee Daniels.
Yeah, because if you look at the real story, that's not her mother is black.
It is a whole black woman.
Yeah, I don't know why he did that.
And had the nerve to cast Glenn Close too.
Yeah, Glenn Close.
Yo, what is
did
wrong
a hell of
with
a job? Hell of a job in her role.
Okay.
She
Okay.
I'm talking about not acting like a black person. I'm talking about
she did a great job acting like a black woman, huh?
No, not that. I was very shocked though to see Monique in a Lee Daniels joint. I was like,
"Damn, why are you messing with this man again in this movie of all movies?"
Maybe she filmed it before she.
No, she need to work.
They just recently did an interview together where she was laying all on him, laughing.
Yeah,
they went off screen and said whatever she said to Daddy.
Go ahead. No, you go.
Big Daddy. What did she call him? Daddy, Big Daddy.
You talking about
She
her
calls
husband?
on screen in public, Big Daddy. Is that what she calls him? Yeah, so I'm sure she no, but I was very shocked to see her in it. Those first 2 acts, though, I was like, oh, this is kind of strong. But that third act, brother, oh my, it is so rough. It is so rough. It's very rough. And I'm assuming every time I see him now, I say this. Caleb is the go-to Netflix black kid now. Caleb, Netflix Caleb.
Yeah, from Stranger Things.
Yes.
Oh, okay, got you.
Yeah, I've seen he seems to be the go-to black kid for Netflix now. Hey, there's a black role, Caleb. Play it.
You're up, Caleb. We need a black. we need a black.
We need a black. Oh shit! Yeah, no.
No, that shit. I was just about to say that shit. I was just about to say that shit was funny. That shit was funny when she said that. I about died laughing.
I smell it.
I about died laughing. I was like, oh, this shit is so unserious. I said, this is not based on truth.
Like, you really sat down and wrote that. Come on, man.
Oh, God.
And y'all be
That's
begging
funny.
these people to save y'all lives sometimes. Like, man, I wish the celebrities would say this. The celebrities are writing stank keyword in their movies that they spent millions of dollars on producing. Don't depend on them people. Stop looking at them. Okay?
And you know, this is the last thing I'm going to say about it. There was a scene with a little boy where he's all possessed and everything, and he's talking to Monique's character. And the way Monique never needs to act another horror movie ever again because it's not her forte. Like, bro, there was no fear at all. Like when she was talking to the priest, she was talking to the priest like it was normal. I was just like, wait, what the fuck? Did this nigga not just hop off a bed and crawl on the wall with you in the room, and she's just acting like it's nothing to him? Yes, no. Comedy is her forte. She used to stick to that. And dramas, the drama scene, she killed them drama scenes because, as you know, that's what she does. She can pull on that trauma and emotion. But horror, no. I've seen the Halloween the Parkers episode. That's as horror as Monique needs to get. That's it. I can't believe I was really thinking that y'all two watched that. I'm shocked that you didn't.
Yeah, hell no.
But you watched it.
I'm not watching that shit.
Let's call in Josh. Remember to thumbs up our stream, everybody. Pantheon every single Thursday, right around this time. Marcus, any parting words?
Not at all, man. Just make sure you follow us over at Back of the Bus Podcast. We're on there every Sundays. Videos posted during the week on Wednesdays and Thursdays. Come check us out.
Mm-hmm. Nefarious Darius.
I have had a lot of videos planned that I just haven't done them. I'm so sorry I haven't. I want to say we might be live tomorrow, but then there's that. Might not. It's just been rough. I'm moving, so I'm packing and trying to find time to do shit. So, but when I get the studio back and moved into my new house, then things will be more for sure. So I'm door dashing too. I'm doing a lot of work trying to, save up some money. It's a lot of work. So work consumes a lot of my time. But
so when the ads go up on this video, sit through them. Like 15 seconds here, 30 seconds there. Don't click skip ad. Help us out.
That 3 cents really does.
It adds up. It adds up because everyone's doing. Like there's 50 people watching right now. So, that's 3 times 50. It's $1. Okay, it's not much still.
Please, give us some more.
But I appreciate everyone who does that.
I'm sorry. Before we get off thinking of that, one time I sat during John's live stream. I've done this with Josh too, and I've counted their super chats at the end. They go through the super chats, brother.
They're cleaning up.
Boy, cleaning up shit. Yeah.
Remember to spend your money on streamers like us and not on no Jon Stewart character who they're gonna dismiss in 20 years for Hal Jordan. Josh, take us home.
Hey, I've been watching y'all every single time on Thursday and Friday because I swear to God, y'all switch up every now and then. But rock out. I'm fucking with it. I'm out.
Thank you, Josh.
Appreciate it.
All right, dog.